off home run as the Orioles beat the Phillies 6-4. And then Sunday afternoon, it was extra innings again. This time it was Matt Wieters with the game-winning hit. And after all the celebrating that went on this weekend, the O's are giving their fans one more thing to celebrate. Brian Roberts is back, he's in uniform, and he's leading off in the game tonight. The Orioles are on Masson on an overcast, muggy night at Camden Yards. Interleague baseball continues as the Orioles welcome in the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's the opening game of this three-game series. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter. Thanks for joining us as the Orioles continue in this stretch of 15 consecutive games against National League competition. And they not only welcome in the Pittsburgh Pirates for a three-game series, they welcome in the first-place Pittsburgh Pirates. That's right, the Pirates, as the Orioles are, surprising in their division. Now, if you look at these two teams, there's a lot of similarities on the year of why they are playing so well. Of course, each team has tremendous outfield play in center field with Adam Jones and Andrew McCutchen. Jones, 8 offensive categories. He leads the Orioles. How about McCutchen? He leads in 10. Bullpens have been outstanding, leading their respective leagues. Now, the Pirates, they come in with a .224 batting average, worst in the National League, while the Orioles, they like to get it done with the long ball, 82 home runs, and the defense, without a doubt, favoring the Pirates so far. And the teams come into this matchup tonight, a combined 13 games over 500. So, Rick Dempsey, when you look at this matchup here, usually you'd say, well, yeah, the Pirates are coming in. This is the hottest team in baseball, Pittsburgh, as they come in for this three-game series.
Well, they've won 12 out of their last 15 ball games, and they're doing it with their bullpen and their great defense. They're a very good defensive ball club. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They don't give runs away in those respects. And both teams aren't even going to be close in their divisions unless the bullpens have stepped up like they've done so far this season. They match up so well. And Jim Johnson, who's had an outstanding season so far, and hand, they're just one right back and forth to each other. Each of them complement their team so much at this point in the season.
Now, the Orioles have been very consistent on the year because they have taken care of business in their series. You hear managers talk about it all the time. Hey, let's get our 2 out of 3 and move on. Well, the Orioles have played 20 series on the year. They are 12-7 with one split, so a 34-26 record. Compare that to last year. Through 20 series, the Orioles were 8-11-1 and were 5 games below 500, and they have won both their interleague series against the Nationals and the Phillies on the year. So, Rick, that's what it's all about. If you're going to have a good year, obviously you want to win more than you lose, but taking care of your business 2 out of 3, the Orioles have done that.
You know, the focus has to be on the starting rotation and getting deep in ball games, Jim. You're just kind of hoping that, especially here with the Orioles, that you can get to that 6th inning with at least a 1-run lead, because you can turn it over to this bullpen. You're going to win most of the time. So you got to think about that too. That pitch count is very important. Trying to keep those guys in order, under 100 pitch counts by the time they get to that 7th inning will really strengthen the bullpen and all. But that's really what it's all about. We keep saying it over and over again. If you're setting this game up to hand it over to the bullpen, that's exactly how you're going to win 2 out of 3, because they are very strong.
And it's nice to get your sweeps. What you don't want to have is have your team get swept, because that's how you get into those losing streaks. Anytime you win even a game in a series, you're avoiding those losing streaks.
Well, defense usually becomes a factor when you're looking at it like that. The Orioles have had some shaky defense for most of the season. Otherwise, if they were one of the top defensive teams in baseball, we wouldn't even be talking about it right now. They'd have such a long lead, and even in this division, that it wouldn't even be funny at this point. They got to be careful with the defense if they're going to win this series right here.
Well, the Orioles are taking the field here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, opening game of a 3-game series against the Pirates. Now let's join the public address.
Please rise, and that gentlemen remove your hats. Yesterday, the Orioles lost a beloved member of their family. Major League pitcher Dave Boswell spent most of his career with the Twins, where he won 20 games in 1969. But he finished his career with the Orioles in 1971. He was a Baltimore native and a graduate of Calvert Hall. In memory of former Orioles pitcher Dave Boswell, and in honor of his contributions to the Orioles and in respect for the family and friends he leaves behind, we ask that you join us in a moment of silence. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we welcome the United States Navy.
Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union serves the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, the Department of Defense, and their families, federally insured by NCUA. And by Jeep. Jeep, in the unique brand of freedom you'll find only in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Well, the opening game of a 3-game series against the Pirates, Interleague Baseball. Orioles coming off their day off yesterday. Time now for our train game time temperature, 74 degrees. And yes, it is muggy, 89%. But the rain's left just in time for baseball. Visit Train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop the train. So the first of 3 against the Pirates, the Dodge starting lineups for the Pirates. Alex Presley and Neil Walker at the top. Neil Walker finally coming out of a slump, batting .368 with a home run and 7 RBIs in the month of June. Andrew McCutchen, Casey McGee, then Matt Haig, Pedro Alvarez at third, Jose Tabata and right, Rob Barajas will catch, and Clint Barmas at shortstop will bat ninth. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out our powerful lineup.
And here is the AFCIA Intelligence Report. Visit AFCIA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Well, home sweet home for Wei-Yin Chen. He loves pitching here already at Camden Yard. 3-0 when his 5 starts with a 2.1 ERA. The bigger, the better. He has beat the top 3 American League offensive teams, and that is the Texas Rangers, the New York Yankees, and the Boston Red Sox. 21 1/3 innings with them, and he's only given up 4 1/3 runs. And he is the man in Japan. In 4 years with the Chinichi Dragons, 36-30 record with a 2.48 ERA, 360 innings, 500 Ks. He's never had a 3.0 ERA until this year.
Wei-Yin Chen making his 12th start. He has 5 wins, as Rick talked about, and you can see there's not much difference between left-handers and right-handers. 261 for the lefties, 249 for the righties. So he has something in his repertoire in the way he mixes up his pitches to go after either hitter from either side of the plate.
Well, you look at the first 2 pitches, his fastball and his changeup, and he actually throws them in 4 different ways. He has a body rhythm that's fast one time, slow the next. And he's excellent. He stays out of the middle of the plate, Jimmy. He sits on the corners a lot, so he's very, very tough to get a beat on him.
Alex Presley looks over 1. See a 234 on the year, but he is 8 out of 27 since coming back from the minor leagues. Chen gets ahead of him, and there's a pitch taken on the outside corner, 0-2. It is very unusual to see a team come into your town, as the Pirates have, in first place, with the worst batting average in their league. Pittsburgh is at .224. Clint Hurdle's club 16th out of the 16 teams in the National League. And 0-2 is outside, 1-2.
I'm sorry, you almost have to laugh. With that team batting average, you kind of figure out, there's only one guy in the order that you have to pitch around, and that's McCutchen.
Right.
There's nobody else with a batting average much more than 200. So what are you worried about? That guy is nails right there. He carries the club on his back.
And he bounces the breaking ball, so 2-2. Well, Chen coming off just an outstanding effort last Wednesday at Fenway Park, which is a very tough park to pitch in particular for a left-hander. He allowed only 1 run over 7 innings, and he did not walk a batter. It was the first start all year that he did not walk at least 1 batter in the game. 2-2 on Presley, swinging a high fly to center. Jones back on it, but he has a play. And Adam glides to it and runs it down for the out. And 1 away here in the first inning.
Well, here's the Orioles defense around the interval. Reynolds will be back at first base. Brian Roberts back in the lineup again at second. Good to see him there. J.J. Hardy, he compliments him at short. Wilson Betterment will be at third. Matt Wieters behind the plate. In the outfield across, Steve Pearce will be in left field. Adam Jones in center. And Indy Chavez will be playing right field.
And there is Brian Roberts. He is back with the club, activated today, and happy to be back in a major league game. So 1 out, and here is Neil Walker swinging a foul back. Everybody just so happy for Brian that he made it all the way back. It has been a tough journey. He is playing in his first game since May the 16th of last season at Fenway Park, when he re-injured or suffered another concussion in that dive at first base at Fenway Park. 0-1 pitch right on the outside corner, taken for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2 on Walker.
Well, it couldn't happen at a better time, though, Jim. To have Brian Roberts out of there, I know that Robert has had a pretty good run at second base so far this season, and to have Brian Roberts back in that leadoff spot, here's a guy I think is one of the best two-strike hitters in the game of baseball, and the Orioles really need to improve their on-base percentage, and that's one guy who can do it.
1-2 on Neil Walker. Switch hitter up there from the right side against Wei-Yin Chen, and a foul off out of play. No, this Pirate Ball Club comes in at 32-27, and their numbers as of late are just amazing. They have won 4 in a row, 6 out of 7, 8 out of 10, and 12 out of 15 games, and that 12-3 record since May the 25th. Clint Hurdle's team, that is the best record in the major leagues. And they have gone from 6 below to 5 above, and that one bounces in there, so that's ball 2. 2-2 on Neil Walker, unless it hit his bat.
You know how nerve-wracking that must be for Clint Hurdle to have to go to so many one-run games. That you got to be on top of your game and know every guy in the bullpen and what he's doing, coming and going, because they 27 one-run games so far this season. They've won the most one-run games, 17 on the year, so that's a pretty good record.
I'm not sure whether Jim Reynolds said that ball hit the bat and was foul and not a ball, so we'll see how this at-bat continues. 2-2 is a called strike 3. It doesn't matter as Walker's down on strikes, and Chen picks up his first strikeout, 2 away in the first.
Well, you look at this pitch. He's trying to set up inside and hit it not there, but he actually hits the outside corner. You know, not a lot of aggression, just nice and easy, fluid motion. Look at this, a four-seamer. That's all it was right there. He hits the outside corner perfectly, and I know they weren't really trying to do that, but that's what he does. He stays out of the middle of the plate, and he hits corners.
And our pitch back brought to you by Nissan. Close a great deal now on your new Nissan, but hurry, the door to your opportunity closes July the 2nd. And here's Andrew McCutchen, who is the danger hitter in this lineup. McCutchen in the number 3 spot, hitting at .325, which is 8th best in the National League. And there's a slow roller towards third. Tough play for Bedemeet. That ball is fair, and he'll just pick it up. That's an infield hit from McCutchen. A wise play by Bedemeet. With the speed of McCutchen, you don't want to throw it away. So there's a 2-out infield hit for Andrew McCutchen.
He has a little grin on his face right there. He knows he got away with one right there. He topped that ball, tried to pull an outside pitch. He ends up, he's been so hot against left-handers, well over 450 on the season. Number 1 hitter in the National League against left-handed pitchers. So not a guy you'd like to see coming up with men in scoring position in that situation, but with nobody on, you got to pitch to him.
Now 2 down. Here's Casey McGee, who is batting cleanup despite that batting average of just .203. And toss to first to keep McCutchen close. He has 11 steals on the year. Well, Chen does a pretty good job of holding runners. There have been only 4 stolen bases against Chen, and the Orioles have caught 2 potential base stealers.
It's got to be hard for Clint Hurdle to find somebody in that order to put behind him, and after a while National League pitchers are going to stop throwing to this guy because there's no production at all from the bottom part of that order. Anything past him has just been non-productive all season long.
McCutchen, there you see, he's 11 out of 15, so 73%.
Pretty good matchup with Matt Wieters behind home plate, who's one of the best throwing catchers in the American League. I'm kind of anxious to see if he's going to try to get a jump and what Matt Wieters does.
1-0 on McGee. Chen deals high, ball 2. Well, the Orioles have caught 38% of the potential base stealers. 62% have made it. Wieters a big part of that, but the Orioles pitchers are giving Matt a chance, and that's what you need. You need the pitchers getting that ball to Wieters quickly so he has a chance to throw them out. 2-0 on Casey McGee. Runner goes, pitch taken high, throw to second by Wieters. The tag, safe is the call at second base by James Hoy. Just got the foot in ahead of the tag of Brian Roberts.
So that's one thing you got to watch out with him. You know that he's just going to go on first move. This is exactly what he does, and he gets too good a jump. Matt Wieters, on his best throw, would have had a tough time to throwing him out right there. Might have had him as it was. If the umpire got a chance to look at that and replay, there might have been an inch between his foot and the bag.
3-0 the count on McGee. And Chen deals outside, ball 4, so there's a 2-out walk. And the Pirates have 2 on with 2 down in the first. And a walk to a Pirate batter is actually news. They have walked the fewest times of any team in the National League. So Chen up to 17 pitches here through 4 batters of the first inning. And he will face Matt Hague, who is DHing tonight. He also plays first base. He is a 26-year-old rookie out of Oklahoma State. Chen in a first inning jam now, 2 on and 2 out. Breaking ball and a base hit up the middle. Jones charging, McCutchen being sent. Here comes the throw home towards the plate. It is up the line and beyond Wieters, and that will allow Hague to get into second base. So the Pirates rally after 2 outs and nobody on, and it all got started on that in-through hit by McCutchen, and Pittsburgh grabs a 1-0 lead.
Right there, a hanging curveball on the outside. It was up in the strike zone, and he was all over it, almost like he knew it was coming. Adam Jones just playing. No way he was going to get McCutchen. He got a good break right from the very beginning. He should have been throwing the ball to third base, and he knows it. Now it turned out to be an error and another runner in scoring position.
So it is a single and an RBI for Hague, and he goes to second on the throwing error by Adam Jones. For Adam, his 5th error on the year. And 2 more in scoring position. Well, when you only average 3.2 runs per game as the Pirates have, that's how you win games. You get clutch base hits. Here's Pedro Alvarez, the Pittsburgh third baseman. And there's a strike right there, 0-1.
You know my saying, Jim. There's nothing good happens after a walk. There's just no business walking a 200 hitter in that situation at all. And this is what has really cost the Orioles starters so much since the 6-game losing streak is 2 outs, nobody on, and 2-out runs. Almost every run the last game Orioles played, with the exception of the run that Matt Wieters knocked in, every run in the game was with 2 outs.
Breaking ball stays inside, so 1-1 the count. There's Chen getting to experience some Baltimore humidity on this June the 12th. Well, in fairness to Chen, he made a good pitch to McCutchen, and the swinging bunt base hit kept the inning going, but then Chen compounded it, as Rick says, with that walk to McGee. 1-1 on Alvarez, and it's outside, ball 2. Another breaking ball. Chen lost his other interleague start this year when he faced the Nationals in the series finale in D.C. And he lasted only 4 1/3 in that game, and that was his shortest outing of the year. 2-1 on Alvarez. 2 on and 2 out with a run in. And a foul back on the screen, so it's 2-2.
We saw the same scenario in the last series with Jim Thome came up with 2 outs and chopped the ball down the first baseline, then a walk, then a single, then a double, and just out of control. Jake Arrieta had a lot of trouble at this point, as have most of the Orioles starters.
Well, McGee at third, Hague at second, with 2 men down, and the Pirates in front 1-0. 2-2 pitch and a called strike 3. Paints the outside corner with a fastball, and Chen gets out of it. Pirates get a run. They strand 2. We're going to the bottom of the first. Here come the O's, trailing by a run. Orioles in the bottom of the first. Here's a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineups, and there's Brian Roberts back from the DL for the first time since May 16th of last season, back from his concussion and concussion syndrome. He'll bat leadoff. Hardy, Davis, and Jones. Then Wieters, Bettavite, and Reynolds. Pierce gets a start in left field, and Endy Chavez in right field will bat ninth.
And here is the AFCIA intelligence report. Brad Lincoln, well, let's be an honest, Abe. He is better suited for the bullpen than he is as a starter. Both of them 19 starts, a 5.6 ERA, 19 relief appearances, a 2.6 ERA. But he's finally figured it out. In relief, he has a 0.45 ERA with 23 strikeouts and 13 relief wins, and he is a pit bull in pit. There's no doubt about it. He has a hard pit bull mentality. He just goes as hard and throws as hard as he can until they take him out. Somewhere around 60 to 80 pitches, he'll be gone.
So Brian Roberts with his first at-bat of the season. He played 14 games in the minor leagues on his rehab assignment. The full 20 days he spent, and he looks over a strike, and it's 1-1. And how he must feel right now after all that time and wonder if he'd ever be able to make it back. It's been a slow process for Brian Roberts. And he looks over a pitch low, and it's 2-1.
There were so many times when you got a chance to see Brian Roberts. We'll talk about that in a minute. Brad Lincoln, 38 innings. They're trying to make him a starter, but better out of the bullpen right now, and hoping that they can get some of their regular starters like Karsten healthy again.
So Brian with a good cut on the foul ball. And you look at Brian Roberts, Mr. Consistency. Of course, 2010, 59 games. Last year held to 39 because of the concussion issues over the past 2 years. And the 2-2 is outside, ball 3. And there's a typical Brian Roberts at bat to lead off a game, working the count. And you see he's wearing the helmet with the double ear flap, a little extra protection up there for his head. So a 3-2 count on Roberts leading off. And a line drive, base hit to center field. Welcome back, Brian Roberts.
Wow, you can see the fans are very excited to have Brian Roberts back again. The consistency in that #1 leadoff role. Brian is the kind of guy who can do that. One of the best leadoff batters in baseball, in the American League for sure, along with Ichiro. They just don't get any better than that. And what a great base stealer, too. It'll be great to see him put all parts of his game back together again. It's what the Orioles need right now.
And he has just extended a hitting streak to 4 straight games. He hit in his final 3 games last year before going on the DL. So he is on with a leadoff single. Here's J.J. Hardy. And now Lincoln will have to respect Brian Roberts. And he's high, 1-0.
So much tougher to pitch to a hitter when you know that guy at first base can get good jumps and can steal bases easily. It just takes away a lot of concentration from the starting pitcher, disenabling him really to hit the corners and have to worry about somebody getting in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, he showed he had his timing back in that at-bat as J.J. Hardy takes a close pitch for ball 2. J.J. comes in 0 for his last 11. And he is in a 1 for 23 drought over his last 5 games. And he's hitting at .248, 11 home runs, and 27 RBIs. Roberts edging his lead, bluffing to go, and he forces Lincoln to step off. And this is what Brian Roberts brings, this dimension to the team that really wasn't there. He is the one guy on this team that is a legitimate stolen base threat that the other team has to look for.
Well, you know that, too. The pitcher's got that thought in his mind, too. And really what it does, it helps J.J. Hardy get better pitches in fastball counts. He's not going to get too many off-speed pitches. They don't want to give Brian that opportunity to steal a base easily. So that's the biggest factor of having a guy like Brian on the bases, is that the hitter behind him benefits with more fastballs.
Well, 2-0 the count, and we expect the Orioles will test the Pirates with the stolen base attempt as Brian does a go. Liner caught by Alvarez. Throw back across, but not in time to get the alert Roberts. So J.J. Hardy all over that. but lines out to Alvarez at third and one away, but Brian got back to the bag. It wasn't doubled up.
Boy, it was a pitch just middle way. You get J.J. Hardy got extended on this ball and pulled it a little bit. Middle in fastball. Almost turned out to be a double play. Brian Roberts too good a base runner to get caught on that one. It's right there in front of him. See Brian Roberts getting back underneath the bag. Just kind of hoping there's no contact. I don't want to see any more concussions. We've lost this guy for too long.
So Roberts on at first with one down, and Chris Davis will bat. Chris DHing in the number 3 spot. He's facing Brad Lincoln, who is making his 3rd start on the year and his 16th appearance. And then the breaking ball hits the outside corner for a strike. Now, one of the things we expect in this series is Buck Showalter's team to be a bit more aggressive on the bases, because the Pirates have had all kinds of trouble throwing out potential base stealers. In fact, how bad? They've caught 4 all year.
That's unbelievable.
45 have made it. 45 out of 49 have been successful stealing second base or stealing A base. As Davis fouls it back, and he's down in the count 0-2.
I don't know about you, but I'm getting loose already.
I don't blame you. That's 8% of potential base stealers they have caught. And that's the kind way of saying it, because that means 92% have made it. But Lincoln gets ahead of Chris Davis. No balls and 2 strikes. Chris has a 4-game hitting streak going, batting here with Roberts at first and 1 down. Orioles down by a run in the first. Lincoln really taking his time, and another throw over, and Brian has to dive back in. Hollywood Casino League leaders as we look at most stolen bases since 2001, and Brian Roberts 4th on that list despite all the time he has missed the past couple of years. 274 steals. Hollywood Casino, slots, tables, and dining, the ultimate triple play at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Count holding 0-2 on Davis. Roberts doesn't go, and it's outside 1-2.
You know, Chris Davis has kind of elevated himself lately too into that number 3 slot. You know, pretty good contact. He's gone through some stretches where he's been a little bit slumpy. They're kind of pitch him up in the strike zone. They swing through balls, but he seems to be back on top of his game now, and you just don't want to make a mistake with this guy down out over the plate.
A ball and 2 strikes on him. And a weak ground ball towards first, backhanded there by McGee to second one, back to first, and there's a double play with the pitcher covering, and nicely done. So it goes 3-6-1, erases that leadoff hit. We'll head to the second, 1-0 Pittsburgh. And tonight's second inning is presented by Luna. Call for the Luna Double and get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. Well, the fans out of the souvenir stands here at Camden Yards. The Pirate fan son, the Oriole fan dad, and there's Brian Roberts. Welcome back to the major leagues with a base hit in his first at bat. as he worked the count and singled a hard single up the middle for a base hit for Brian Roberts. Wei-Yin Chen, 23 pitches in the first inning. He got the first 2 outs. Then McCutchen on a swinging bunt, slow roller towards third. Then a stolen base, a walk, and an RBI single got the Pirates their run.
Then you go back 3 starts with Wei-Yin Chen, and this is just pretty much the same scenario. He struggled early in those ball games and then got stronger as the game went on. Pretty good game against Boston. He didn't do that. He did have a couple of people on early in that game, and then he just got strong, but only gave up 1 earned run for the entire game. But today, too, a little 2-out struggle in the first inning, and now we're going to see if he keeps getting stronger as the game goes on.
Jose Tabata, the right fielder. Barajas and Barmes will follow, lower third of the Pittsburgh lineup. Tabata, the right fielder, facing Wei-Yin Chen. And there was a pitch taken for a strike, so it's 1-2.
It's such a nice, easy motion to see, Matt Wieters sit down on the outside corner, and he just hit the heel of that glove. He's done it about 3 or 4 times already. That pitch is almost impossible to hit unless you're looking for it.
And a liner foul behind Luis Silverio, the first base coach. Well, Tabata, the Pirates got him in a trade with the Yankees, and he has taken a little bit longer, I think, than they had hoped for. He's still only 23 years old, but in his 3rd season out of Venezuela. And there's a ball knocked down by Chen. He can't find it. It's in front of the mound, and he'll have no play. So a tough break there for Chen as he alertly gloved it, but then he couldn't locate the ball. There's a leadoff hit for Jose Tabata.
Boy, a lot of these little plays like this have plagued the Orioles as of late. Watch this line drive right up the middle. He has it, but he doesn't know where it goes. He flipped it right out of his glove. Still had a chance to get him if he just let it go. Good Tabata, not that big a runner. Look at that little line drive right there. He thinks it's behind him. It's actually in front of him.
So Tabata is on at first base with a leadoff hit. And Chen back to the stretch to face Rob Barajas, the catcher. Down and in, 1-0.
Now Rod's a guy you have to worry about with a little bit of power. He had in the past, he's hit 19 home runs in a season once when he was with Toronto a couple of years ago. He's a guy that can power the ball if you get behind in the count.
And Barajas batting at a .308 clip over his last 12 games, so he, like several of the Pirate hitters, are starting to break out of season-long slumps. There's a strike on the inside corner. 1-1. Rob Barajas has had a long career. He's in his 14th season. When you look back at his track record, he was a non-drafted free agent in 1996. He went to a tryout camp with the Arizona Diamondbacks when Buck Showalter was running the Arizona Diamondbacks, and Barajas made the team out of that camp. There's the 1-1 high fly ball to left. He got under it, though. Pierce waiting for it, moves back, and he has it for the out. Top of the place at halfway, and he's back to first, and 1 away. The Maryland Lottery Strike at Risk contestant of the game is Dennis Williams of Baltimore. Dennis has already won $500, and for every strikeout the Orioles pitch during the game tonight, Dennis will win $100 more from the Maryland Lottery. See how you can turn non-winning strike-it-rich scratch-offs into cash and enter to win great prizes. Go to mdlottery.com/strike-it-rich. So 1 down. And here's the number 9 batter, Clint Barmes, the veteran shortstop. Down and away, 1-0.
You know, if you look at a lot of the numbers, the Pirates don't have great numbers against left-handed pitchers. The only one, McCutchen, who's leading the National League hitting against left-handers, is the only one really. Barmes here he hits 176 against left-handed pitching. He's only 6 for 34 on the season so far, too. So you would think this lineup would be an easy lineup to get through, but for some reason they find some way to beat you in one of those one-run games.
Well, they know how to manufacture runs. There's no doubt about that. The Pirates have already played in 35 games, which have been decided by 2 or 1 run. And they have won 23 of those 35 games. Just an incredible record in close games. 1-1 is right there for strike 1 and 2. And in large part, That's because of the success of their bullpen. If they get a lead late in the game, the bullpen usually holds it. And Clint Hurdle has this team believing in itself.
And a lot to do with the defense at the same time. A considerable amount less errors than the Orioles make, but that's one thing. They will not beat themselves in ball games. They don't make very many errors at all.
Tabata on at first, 1-2 on the hitter Barmes. And it's a little low, 2-2. Chen with 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Both were called strike threes. He's averaged 7 strikeouts per 9 innings on the year, and he has averaged 3 walks per 9 innings for Buck Showalter. The Orioles starters as a group now are 20-21. 2-2 on Barmes. And Chen a throw to first, who respects Tabata, who does have 6 steals on the year, but he's been caught 7 times, so not a very good percentage there, but he keeps running.
You know what I'm looking for in this situation, a 2-2 count with this guy right here, is a nice changeup that he'll roll over on. You get the ground ball, you get the double play, and you get out of the inning.
2-2 on Barmes. Chen really taking his time on this muggy night. And the pitch is skied to right. Right there is Indy Chavez. Now a few steps back to his left. And he has it for the out. So 2 down on back-to-back fly ball outs. Now, as Rick mentioned before, Chen has been outstanding at Camden Yards. 3-0 with a 2.16 ERA, compared with his 2-2 on the road, 4.81. Batting average better at home. Pitches per inning are fewer. And no more than 2 earned runs allowed in any home start on the year for Chen.
To me, it just looks like he's gotten very comfortable pitching off this mound. If you take a look at Camden Yard, it's one of the most beautiful ballparks and one of the most well-manicured ballparks in all of baseball. Nicole Sherry is the groundskeeper, and she does a fabulous job.
Tabata runs, and the ball pops out of the glove of Wieters, so there's another stolen base. So 2 in the game already as Tabata, with 2 men down, took off, and he gets himself into scoring position. So aggressive for the Pirates.
Another first move run, and then forces Matt Wieters to try to rush his throw a little bit. So you're going to have to hold the ball a little bit longer up there in order to find out and make these guys slow down a little bit, because you're giving them scoring opportunities that they really don't deserve to have with 2 outs.
Presley flied out to Adam Jones his first at bat. 1-0 is right there for a strike taken. 1-1. The Pirates, with their 4-game winning streak, they're trying to win 5 in a row for the first time since 2010. September the 17th through the 22nd in 2010, they put together a 5-game winning streak.
Well, already they've told you how they're going to approach this whole series. They're going on first move against Chen every chance they get. They're taking advantage of every opportunity that we're going to give them. It should be the other way around. We ought to be the ones running as soon as we get a chance, because they have so much trouble throwing runners out.
In the meantime, it's 2-1 on Alex Presley. Clutch situations helps you win games. Pirates got a 2-out hit in the first for a run, looking for another here. 2-1, a slapped foul out of play. Well, stolen bases, worst stolen base percentage on the year. The Orioles at the top, 59.5%. Pittsburgh at 62.1%. Now, the Orioles are tied with the Red Sox, fewest steals in the American League, just 22 as a club.
Well, you see the reasons why. You go back to the theories of Earl Weaver too, is to look and wait for the 3-run home run. That was effective then too. But this ball club has hit so many home runs so far this season that you have to kind of sit back and let our Oriole hitters go ahead and make a difference with the power.
2-2 is hit to left. Pierce backs up on it, and he has it for the out. So the leadoff hit and stolen base, but 1 left. Middle of the second at Camden Yards. Pirates with a 1-0 lead. three-game series. It features two of the best young center fielders in all of Major League Baseball. Of course, Adam Jones, 26 years old, and Andrew McCutchen, he's just 25. And they are stars on their teams, and they play important positions. And they also play an important part in their lineup. Adam batting at 300, McCutchen at 325. 17 home runs for Adam, 11 for McCutchen, and he's hit all 11 since May the 8th. And very good numbers with runners in scoring position. And our Inside the Numbers, all brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com.
You take a look at those numbers, Jimmy, and you kind of have to, even though McCutchen has him by 25 points in the batting average, you got to give a little edge to Adam Jones because his home runs, so many of them have been a factor in the Orioles' win-loss so far this season.
Lincoln deals high with the fastball, 1-0. Wieters on deck, and then Betemeet behind Adam Jones. Adam has a 2-game hitting streak going, 4 for 11 in the 2 wins against the Phillies. And takes a strike, 1-1. Of course, on Saturday, it was his walk-off home run that won the game. 4 for 7 with a home run and 2 RBIs since he snapped out of that 0 for 18 drought.
17 home runs on the season, and it is amazing how many of those home runs have been a huge factor. 9 of them have actually put the Orioles in the lead in a ball game, and 3 of them have tied the game. So that's 12 of the 17 that have been a direct factor in the win-loss.
You look at his season a year ago when he hit a career high in home runs. As last year, Adam hit 25, and he already has 17. 2-1 pitches, line down the left field line. That ball's going to be a base hit, and it bounces up against the wall. Jones flying around first, he'll head for second, and he is in with a leadoff double. So Adam Jones all over that pitch and rips it into the corner.
Well, you see an excellent bit of hitting right here. No movement on the ball. He just gets the head out. Hits right down the left field line. He can do what he wants with that pitch. He realizes there's not a lot of movement. It's a pretty straight pitch. And Adam Jones has become such a good hitter. He doesn't overswing when he gets his pitch. He's very aggressive.
And our Exmo tonight brought to you by Jose Cuervo. So the Orioles get the leadoff man into scoring position for Matt Wieters, who is heating up. Up there from the left side against Lincoln. Who again goes back to the stretch. And a roller towards first base. McGee will field. He'll take it to the bag unassisted. Wieters is out, but Jones moves to third. So the tying run at third with 1 man down. Fans, purchase an Orioles Legend Celebration Series package, and you can lock in your ticket to the 5 remaining games in the series, including the upcoming Saturday, June 30th event that will honor Earl Weaver. At each game of the series, all fans receive the replica sculpture of that day's honoree. And if you order your ticket package now, you receive the replica Frank Robinson sculpture in case you missed it in April. So reserve your seats now, 888-848-BIRD, or go online at Orioles.com/legends. Here is Wilson Betemeet. Infield in, and he takes low, 1-0. By the way, we should point out, as Betemeet bats, he's at third base tonight. On Sunday, Steve Tollison played third base, and he hit that big 3-run home run off Cliff Lee that made a 4-1 Phillies lead a 4-4 game. Tollison was optioned to AAA today to make room for Brian Roberts. And Robert Andino, who has been playing pretty much every day at second base, he is on the bench tonight. So the Orioles bench, there's Robert on the bench. The bench gets stronger, and unfortunately for Tollison, who played so well in his time here, it was a numbers game. The Orioles had to get Brian active. He was the other infielder, so he gets sent back to AAA to play every day.
Well, it was just a numbers game, really, because Tollison did an outstanding job for me. He looked like the best defensive third baseman we had, and then he hit the ball on top of it at the same time. Came up with quite a few big hits for the Orioles during that little spell that he got a chance to play. Didn't get a regular chance to play, but did an outstanding job.
So Brian activated and Tollison back to AAA, and he showed that he could play here. No doubt about it. 1-2 on Betemeet. And he strikes him out. Oh, a huge out for Brad Lincoln. As again, the strikeout haunts the Orioles and 2 men down.
Well, you see a pretty good pitch by Lincoln right here. He stays on top of the curveball. pitch that you can't lay off it. That's for sure right here. But you've got to find some way to make contact. Matt Wieters went up there, gave himself out on an outside breaking ball, chopped it to first base, had to try to pull it, get the runner over into scoring position with less than 2 outs. And the next guy's got to find some way to get a pitch he can make contact with. The Orioles are striking out way, way, way too much.
And it's the first strikeout for Lincoln. 2 down for Mark Reynolds. And the breaking ball's high, 1-0. Lincoln has averaged a strikeout per inning on the year, and in large part because most of the year he has spent in the bullpen. So he'll come in and work an inning, go at you, be aggressive. But he now has 32 strikeouts in 31 2/3 innings on the year. Check swing, and it's outside. Appeal to first. He did not go. The Carapasa says check swing. His numbers as a starter are not overwhelming. 1-1 with an ERA of 6.30. But Lincoln's numbers out of the bullpen outstanding. 2-0 with a 0.45 ERA. 2-0 to Reynolds. High fly ball, left field. Back it goes. At the track is Presley, and that ball is gone. And the Orioles grab a 2-1 lead.
Wow, one thing you cannot do is hang the ball to Mark Reynolds, because he's got a lot of power and he's a very dangerous hitter. You can make your pitches on him and you can get him out, but if you hang anything or leave anything mediocre, middle in, he is going to try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He was there for the club, and that's winning today.
Well, that's how you snap out of an 0 for 12. You hit it out to give your team the lead. For Reynolds, his 4th home run on the year. And it's his 2nd since coming off the disabled list. For Mark, his 13th game since coming off the DL. So the Orioles get a huge 2-out hit, and here's Steve Pearce. And on the outside corner for a strike.
You'll watch this pitch right here. It's a breaking ball. You see it stays right up into his eyes, belt high, and he is all over that pitch. It was marked with the middle of the bat. And all he has to do is make contact, because he's got tremendous power.
So the Orioles get the lead. Pearce has looked really good at the plate in his brief time with the Orioles. He's 1 for 6 on the homestand. But you could see why he's had big home run numbers in the minor leagues. The ball just jumps off his bat. And a line of foul back out of play. So with the roster move today, Pearce playing in left field, he's getting a start even though there's a right-handed pitcher on the mound.
The surprising part of his game has been his defense, Jim. He's made a couple of diving catches already, and he looks very accomplished out there in left field.
Lincoln gets ahead of him 1-2. And a liner to center field. That ball has Carey McCutchen back on it, and he runs it down in the deepest part of the ballpark. So the Orioles are down in the 2nd, but not before a 2-out, 2-run home run by Mark Reynolds, his 4th on the year. And the Orioles now have a 2-1 lead. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Acura Advance, by Blimpie, America's Sub Shop, and by Verizon Fios. Welcome to America's fastest, most consistent, most reliable internet. Welcome to life on Fios. It is overcast, it is muggy, but the weather is considerably better than even 4:30 this afternoon when it was absolutely pouring here at the ballpark. So the weather cooperated, the rain came and went. And now Wei-Yin Chen, 41 pitches through the first 2 innings, but he now has a 2-1 lead. Pirates have stranded 3 on in their first 2 at-bats. So here is Neil Walker for his second at-bat. He was called out on strikes his first at-bat. And falls behind 0-1. Walker is one of the players in this Pirates everyday lineup that they drafted and developed. He was their first-round pick in 2004, 11th overall. He was the 0-1 pitch. It's a little 0-1-1. And Andrew McCutchen, who's on deck, was their first-round pick in 2005, also 11th overall. Both high school players. And the Pirates took them in back-to-back years with their first pick. 1-1 is hit towards the middle. Hardy gloves it, spins, he throws off balance, and he got him! What a play by Hardy and Reynolds. He takes a base hit away from Walker and denies the leadoff runner to reach.
Well, you talk about a game of inches. J.J. Hardy, who doesn't have the greatest range of a shortstop you've ever seen, but he gets good jumps on the ball. He barely gets this ball in his glove, a 360 turn. You know what saves it for him? He's got an excellent arm, very strong arm, and he gives it all the maximum he can get, just stays on top. Good carry to his ball, all the way to first base. Reynolds there. Outstanding play.
So the combination of Hardy and Reynolds gets it done as McCutchen takes a strike. That is the first ground ball out thrown by Chen in this game, and it took Hardy's thievery to get him.
You know, with the fact that McCutchen hits so well against left-handers, you just don't want anybody on base in front of him, so you got to play good defense.
Ground ball to third. Bettamy to his left gets McCutchen, and 2 down. So Chen gets his second ground ball out consecutively. So 46 pitches, 70% fastballs, 22% breaking pitches, and 8% changeups. And Rick, here's the breakdown of the batting averages on the different pitches in his repertoire.
Well, you see the fastball. I mean, he doesn't get hit hard with the fastball, only 238. You know, his slugging percentage 351. But the changeup is the pitch that throws right off the fastball. His fastball changeup are his 2 best pitches. When they're working, it's so hard to beat him because you can't get a beat on his speeds. Watch him through the course of his windup here, how he'll step back and stop for just a second. That throws hitters' rhythm off right there. That throws the rhythm off for a long time because sometimes he waits a little bit longer before he delivers the ball. Sometimes he rushes it up there. Sometimes he's very slow delivering it. And that really messes with a hitter's rhythm and timing.
1-1 McGee is low too, and while McGee drew a walk his first at bat. And another reason Chen has been successful on the year is opposing cleanup hitters have batted just 115 against him. 3 for 26 on the year outside, and 3-1. But for some reason he can't throw a strike to Casey McGee. He walked him on 4 pitches his first at bat. Now it's 3-1.
Well, this is what gets him in trouble, is that you know, he is a guy that goes deep in some counts because he picks. He stays out of the middle of the plate so he doesn't get hurt too much with the long ball. I think he's only given up 7 home runs on the season.
So it's a 2-out walk, and that denies Chen his first 3 up, 3 down inning.
But he does go deep in a lot of counts, even though it's very, very tough to hit him hard and solid a lot of times. When he gets himself in trouble early in ball games, he's trying to hurry himself on the mound to get ahead of hitters and to get him out, and he really throws his own rhythm and timing off.
Here's Matt Haig, the first baseman. RBI single got the Pirates run in with 2 down in the first. Chen deals inside, 1-0. Haig is a rookie, made his major league debut on April the 7th. 9th round pick out of Oklahoma State in 2008. Last year drove in 75 in AAA at Indianapolis.
It's like they get 2 outs and they just want to start experimenting with things that they really shouldn't experiment, get behind in the count, and then in an effort not to give a batter an opportunity to know what's coming and to drive the ball, they end up walking them.
Ahead in the count, opponents batting 180. Behind in the count, they're 283.
Aside from how well this entire pitching staff has done, they still have trouble keeping teams from scoring with 2 outs and nobody on base.
1-1 is high, ball 2. And this, without a doubt, is a challenge for Wei-Yin Chen on the night, because this is the first real muggy night at home in the season, and he's on the mound. And the temperature, I mean, it was warmer over the weekend. It was in the 90s against the Phillies, but the humidity was not as high as it is tonight. I mean, this air is just very, very thick. 2-1 pitch, slow ground ball to second. First test for Brian Roberts, and he'll get it to first for the out, so Chen works out of it. 2-out walk and 1 left. J.J. Hardy with tremendous defense, mid-third, 2-1 O's. Well, before the game tonight, it was a real nice ceremony here as the U.S. Navy presented a U.S. flag. Commander Kimsey and the crew of the USS Maryland here. And we also got to witness several young people from the state of Maryland be sworn in to the Navy by Rear Admiral Earl Gay and Commander Kimsey. So real nice moment here before the game as all those youngsters are now in the service to defend our country. As MD Chavez will take a strike, and here are some of the Navy personnel now enjoying baseball on what is now a night off. They were working prior to the game, and now they have a night off, enjoying hot dogs and watching the game as Chavez falls behind 0-1, and now he's behind 0-2. And, of course, this is the week when all of the ships will come into the harbor, the U.S. Navy and other countries, as we continue to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the War of 1812.
Wow, you're up on your history, huh?
Well, you know, Dad was in the Navy, so swinging foul down the line, and that bounces. My father was in the Korean War on an aircraft carrier for 4 years. Yeah. But what was kind of ironic for Dad is that he was on the Atlantic Fleet and never went to Korea. He was in 4 years, and he was defending this part of the world.
My father was in the Korean War also. He was a pilot. He flew B-52 bombers.
Oh, wow.
Over there. Actually crashed 2 times and survived that, so how lucky was I?
0-2 pitch, broken bat, bounce to the second. Walker to his left. And he'll get Chavez. Foot nearly came off, and a nice job by McGee. And 1 away. Well, fans, tomorrow, the O's and Pirates, game 2 of the 3-game series at 7:05. And the first 10,000 fans 15 and over receive a drawstring backpack, all presented by the MLB Network. Enjoy a great night out with family and friends at the ballpark that forever changed baseball. For your tickets, 888-848-BIRD, or if you prefer, go online at Orioles.com. And here is Brian Roberts, who is batting 1,000.
Well, I'll know he's really back when he hits his first double, because he is a double machine.
And he bounces a foul, and prior to the game he had a press conference, and Brian was asked did he have doubts that he would in fact make it back to the big leagues.
I'd say there were months at a time where I thought that this would never occur, for sure. I mean, my doctor's in town today, and we went to lunch, and you know, I mean, even as recently as probably January when I saw him, he said you weren't. He said I never had. He said he never had full doubts, but there were times throughout the process that it looked so. The future looked so bleak that we weren't real sure.
Well, and the progression Brian has made has really been dramatic when you go back to last September when he met the media in Tampa. And he really did not look that well. 0-2 pitch, and he got him. Foul tip held on by the catcher. And then in December, he always attends the Orioles Christmas party they have for the school kids. And as you see, that one hung up there, and he foul tipped it. But then by the time spring training started, and by the middle of spring, and he worked with Mike Bordick every day and Terry Crowley every day in the spring, you could see it was slowly beginning to come back. And he has worked very hard, and all the people that helped him, including our friend and colleague Mike Bordick, who really was his coach every day here at the ballpark until Brian went out on his rehab.
Well, I saw Brian when he did that interview down in Tampa Bay, and you're right, he looked awful. He looked like there was something else wrong with him that he just wasn't talking about at that time. So he made me believe he did. And then the next time I saw him, he looked outstanding. Yep. He looked very fresh. He looked very ready, but he wasn't ready. And I said to him one day, Brian, you know, how come you're not ready? You're doing everything, ground balls, you know, hitting the ball solid in batting practice. And he says, you know, when people walk by, that's what disturbed him more. The vision of people and things moving so quickly almost made him dizzy. And
well, he is back, and the Orioles are happy to have him. 2-0 on Hardy, and there's a strike.
That last curveball that he just swung at probably made him a little bit dizzy, too, because it was an outstanding curveball.
Well, you know, he wasn't seeing that in the minor league rehab.
No.
Brad Lincoln, 27 years old, out of Texas. And a good eye by Hardy, ball 3. He pitched in college at the University of Houston, facing J.J. Hardy, and was the Pirates' 4th-round pick in 2006. 3-1 is a called strike, 3-2. In fact, Lincoln had been a starter throughout his minor league career. He pitched in 88 games in the minors, and all 88 games were starts. But in the big leagues, it's been exactly half. 19 starts, 19 relief appearances, and Hardy has a base hit up the middle on a 3-2 pitch. So a 2-out single keeps the inning going. And it's time now for our Subway game flow. Well, the flow of this game came off the bat of Mark Reynolds. He got into a hanging pitch and hit it out, a 2-run home run, his 4th on the year. And that gave the Orioles a 2-1 lead. And here comes Chris Davis. He will bat with 2 men down. Rounded into a double play to end the first inning, but Chris brings a 4-game hitting streak into this game. 10 home runs and 26 RBIs.
He really impresses me as probably being the strongest guy I think I've ever seen in the game as far as being able to hit a ball a long way. But he just swings so effortlessly at the ball. You don't see him ever swing too hard. And the inside out the ball as good as anybody going the opposite way. In fact, you'll probably see him hit more home runs to left center and the left field than you will see him pulling the ball over the right field wall.
Well, Jim Presley does a real good job with these guys, trying to keep those mechanics sound and short to the ball. All the work they do in the cage before BP. 1-0 on Davis. Whip to right field. That's a base hit. That's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Top-it-up will have to play the carom. Davis hit it so hard he's going to settle for a single. Hardy ends up at 3rd. So back-to-back singles after 2 men down, and the Orioles have something going here in the 3rd inning.
Well, that's the one swing that you kind of question a little bit if he stays inside this ball. Watch this top hand roll over the top of this ball right there. He stayed inside of it just enough to make it a line drive. If he can get those hands inside of that, there's just no ballpark that can hold this guy. He is massively, massively strong. And he works every day at keeping that top hand from rolling over too much.
And our Exmo brought to you by Toshiba. And that ball was smoked even in slow-mo on our Exmo.
Yes.
2 down. Here's Adam Jones. Adam a chance to add to the Orioles lead. And Lincoln deals a strike, 0-1.
Well, he had to be looking for some other pitch other than that, because that was just a plain old fastball right down the middle of the plate. I think it surprised him. He didn't think he was going to get a pitch that good to hit that early in the count.
Runners on the corners with 2 men down. All the runs in this game have scored with 2 men out. Broken bat bloop, center field. That ball is trouble, and it falls in for a base hit. Hardy scores. Going to third is Davis. He is safe at third base with a head-first slide. He just got in ahead of the tag of Pedro Alvarez. So Jones delivers, and it's 3-1 Orioles.
One thing about Adam Jones, you got to respect his power. That forces outfielders to play just a step or 2 deeper, and that'll earn you quite a few more hits. Watch this one right here. He jams him a little bit. Pretty big league swing, home run swing all along. Keeps McCutchen back just enough. Ball falls in. J.J. Hardy scores with 2 outs. The Orioles have another opportunity to get a big crooked number up there.
And Davis hustled all the way to third, and was that close. The replay showed he just did get the hand in ahead of the tag of Alvarez. So runners on the corners for Wieters with 2 down and the 3-1 Oriole lead.
Well, you don't ever want to make the last out at third base like that, but he just got in there by inches, so he must have known something we didn't.
McCutchen, you saw on the replay, he double clutched before delivering that throw. Had he been able to throw it initially, he may have been able to get him. As McCutchen really covers a lot of ground on there, and he got in on that broken bat bloop very, very quickly. Now 1-0 on Wieters, and it's inside, ball 2. So for Adam Jones, he now has 38 RBIs on the year to lead the club. Extends his current hitting streak to the modest 3 in a row, and he also now, with a 2-for-2 night, has 19 multi-hit games, which is most on the team.
And I don't think there's anybody on the ball club I'd rather see hitting right now here than Matt Wieters. Stays inside the ball well and uses the whole field. You make a pitch on him with 2 strikes, and he can flip it the opposite way as good as anybody on this ball club. Probably as good as anybody in the American League. He's just an excellent fundamental hitter.
3-0 on Wieters. Will he get the green light? And he does, and he pops it up, but it's going to be out of play. That was the 50th pitch of the game for Brad Lincoln. As you saw the inning by inning, the pitches per inning keep going up, and that is not good news for the Pirates, because we've mentioned Lincoln has spent most of the year pitching in relief. And in his last start last Wednesday at Cincinnati, he lasted only 4 innings, and after the game he admitted he was gassed. He had nothing left because he wasn't accustomed to going that deep, and that was only 4 innings.
That was 66 pitches into that game. I read that quote. The most he's had in that one game against Miami was 80 pitches.
3-1 on Wieters, 1st and 3rd and 2 down. Jones runs, pitch is taken low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 2 men down.
Well, what's my saying, Jim? Please repeat it. I mean, nothing good happens after a walk. So that's what I'm hoping for right here. Wilson Betemit needs to pick up the pace a little bit here as of late.
Ray Searage, the pitching coach, will head out for a visit. A big moment in this game. The Orioles have a run in and a chance for a huge inning if they can get another 2-out base hit. Orioles are playing good baseball. They've won 2 in a row and 4 out of 6. They have won their last 2 series, getting 2 out of 3 at Fenway, and then coming home and getting 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. And against the Phillies, they did it the hard way by losing the opener and then winning the next 2. So Buck Showalter's team at 34-26, a game out of first place. Tampa Bay and the Orioles had off yesterday, but the Yankees did play, and the Yankees won in Atlanta. So the Yankees and Rays are at 35-25, 10 above. They're tied for first. And the Orioles are 34-26, 1 game back in 3rd place in the division. Davis, Jones, and Wieters 3rd to 1st, with Betemit facing Lincoln. Those are 2 for 4 on the night. And there's a strike. Nothing in one. Bedamit struck out his first at bat. And he takes the ball. This is a spot where Bedamit has really excelled on the year. When you look at his totals, he only has 36 base hits, yet he has 23 RBIs. He's one of 6 Orioles with at least 20 RBIs, and it's amazing how his RBIs come in bunches.
And 7 home runs. Early on, he was hitting the ball out of the ballpark all the time when the Orioles needed. I go back to the Toronto series. He had a couple of home runs there. And that's really what turned that first series for the Orioles around up there. They've had so much trouble winning in Toronto. It was Wilson Bedamit who came up with the biggest hits of that series, along with Nolan Reimold.
So Bedamit behind in the count, 1-2. Bases full of birds with 2 men down and a run in for the Orioles. Big spot here for Brad Lincoln and the Pirates. And the 1-2 is a called strike 3. Got it on the outside corner. So Bedamit not only is 0 for 2, he has struck out twice, and the Orioles leave him loaded. But the Birds get a run and now lead it 3-1. AT&T 4G LTE with speeds up to 10 times faster than 3G. AT&T, rethink possible. By Farmers Insurance, call 888-96-FARMERS or visit farmers.com to find a local agent. We are insurance. We are farmers. And by your Baltimore BMW Centers. Well, the Orioles, the 20th anniversary season. There is the logo on all the baseballs used this year here at Camden Yards. And Wei-Yin Chen at 55 pitches through 3 innings now is a 3-1 lead. So again, Rick, he's staying predominantly with the fastball to set up the other pitches. 71% of those 55 have been fastballs.
Well, that's it. You know how he stays ahead of pitchers. Stays ahead of hitters. He gets ahead with the fastball, uses the changeup, shows the breaking ball. It's a pretty good scenario, but you know, for me, he's right on pace. 55 pitches is about what he's been so far this season. He's a 6. He gets into the 7th inning on occasion. He's been there about 4 or 5 times so far this year out of all of his starts, and he's usually out of there right around the 100 to 107 pitch mark.
Pedro Alvarez leading off, slaps a foul, and it's 0-2. Pedro Alvarez, another of the #1 draft picks in the Pirates lineup. He was their first-round pick back in 2008, and he was 2nd overall in that draft. And that was a real top-heavy draft in 2008. And he looks over strike 3, and he's quickly down on strikes and 1 away. Tim Beckham went number 1 to Tampa Bay. He's still in the minors, but then Alvarez. Eric Hosmer went number 3 to the Royals. Brian Mattis went number 4 to the Orioles. And Buster Posey went number 5 to San Francisco. So of those 5 picks, 4 are in the big leagues. And Tim Beckham is a top prospect in the minors for Tampa Bay. Here's Jose Tabata. And he looks over a strike.
Well, what I like about him so far in this game, I know his pitch count is probably just a hair up more than you'd like to see, but he's making good pitches with his fastball. He's keeping them down. He's not hitting the target every single time, but he's not far from it.
And he also has thrown strike 1 to 10 of the 16 batters in this game. That's a good way to pitch. Get ahead. Bouncer towards short. J.J. Hardy plays a tough hop, and he gets it to first, and 2 down. Time now for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. The last time both the O's and the Pirates were at least 5 games over 500 through the same date was October the 4th of 1992. Yep, it's been that long ago. The Orioles finished up at 89 and 73. The Pirates were 96 and 66. And they won the NL East title that year. They went to the playoffs, and they lost in a stunning Game 7 in the NLCS to the Atlanta Braves, and were denied a chance to go to the World Series. And that Game 7 loss was the last game that Barry Bonds played for the Pirates. He became a free agent after that playoff. He went to San Francisco, and the Pirates have not had a winning season since that 92 season. So they're really trying to turn it around, and they're playing good baseball. 5 games above at 32 and 27, having won 12 of their last 15 games. Chen deals in a high pop-up. Foul ground wide of first. There's Reynolds. And he has it for the out. And Wei-Yin Chen has his first 3-up, 3-down inning. 4 in a row retired by the left-hander. Mid-4th at Camden Yards. 3-1 Birds. So far in this game have struck out 3 times, and the strikeout has really plagued the Orioles on the year. Here are the most games this season striking out at least 10 times, and the Orioles leading all of Major League Baseball. 23 games on the year they have struck out 10 or more times. The Nationals leading the National League at 21, and you see the Pirates, they have struck out 10 or more times 18 times on the year. And when you look at the Orioles strikeout breakdown, it's just amazing. They have 8 games this year with 10 strikeouts, 4 with 11, 5 games with 12, 3 with 13, and 3 with 15 strikeouts. And ironically, they do not have a game with 14 strikeouts on the year. And even the 3 15 strikeout games, not the highest in the major leagues. The Red Sox struck out 18 times against the Orioles in the 17-inning game. And the Padres, believe it or not, struck out 18 times in a 9-inning game against the Dodgers in April. That's a lot of strikeouts.
It really is. It amazes me that on top of all the strikeouts, Jim, almost half of them are taking. I don't know what happened to that old philosophy to protect the plate with 2 strikes, but they certainly don't do that.
Reynolds first ball swinging, pops it up. That's a bloop. Tabata in on it. And he's got room and he makes the grab. So Reynolds first ball swinging, skies out. And 1 away in the Oriole 4th. Reynolds 1 out of 2 with his 2-run home run his last at bat.
You can almost tolerate the fact that he's averaged over 200 strikeouts a season for the last 4 years because he's putting up some pretty big numbers offensively with the home runs and the RBIs. That reminds me a lot of a guy named Dave Kingman. That might be a little bit before your time, Jimmy.
Who?
Dave Kingman.
Here's Steve Pearce. I love it when people think I'm young. Okay, please keep talking. Keep talking.
Younger. Okay.
I remember Dave Kingman. Pearce flied out his first at bat, and he fouls it off the other way. He's down in the count 0-2.
I'm beginning to like this guy, Steve Pearce, a little bit. I really like his swing. He's got some power, and he uses the whole field. A couple of good at-bats in Boston against some pretty tough pitching. He went the other way with 2 strikes. And good fundamental hitting will give you an opportunity to play in the big leagues. He's a little bit older, but I like everything he showed us so far.
This one sliced towards the corner. Long run for Tabata. Not going to get there. It is foul. Just foul down the line. So Pearce going with the pitch. Nearly had an extra base hit, but he'll come back with the count 0-2.
Wow, it looked like it was pretty close to me. I didn't exactly see that ball hit outside the line. That's what I mean. He took a pretty good pitch the opposite way. Had that thing just caught the line a little bit. He's there with a double, maybe even a triple. He's got good speed.
So catching his breath as he comes back to the plate. No balls and 2 strikes with 1 down. And he popped it foul straight back of the plate. Barajas is hoping for a play. Comes back on it, but it's several rows back behind the plate. So Brad Lincoln facing the Orioles for the first time in his career. Of course, the Orioles don't see the Pirates in the Interleague every season. And coming into tonight's game, the only Oriole who had ever seen Lincoln in a game that had an at-bat against him, believe it or not, Dana Evelyn, who's in the Orioles bullpen. Last September, he made 2 starts for the Dodgers against the Pirates, and in one of those games, he batted against Brad Lincoln. He's the only Oriole to have seen him prior to tonight.
Did he get a hit?
No, he did not. Mark Reynolds did, though. Reynolds hit a 2-run homer off him the first time he saw him. That's what happens when you hang a breaking ball.
That's right.
So 1-2 on Pearce. And a good take. That's outside. 2-2. In 19 career starts, Lincoln is 4-8. In 19 career relief appearances, he is 2-0. So 6-8 his 1 loss mark in his career. And there's a base hit up the middle for Pearce. Boy, that was some at bat. He was 0-2, then the foul ball down the line. Worked it to 2-2 and then got a pitch out over the plate.
Well, you're right. What a great at bat. Down 2 strikes and no balls. He fought off a couple of real tough pitches. Tried to go with that one down the right field line. He just missed a double at least on that at bat. And then ends up getting that base hit up the middle. Just trying to work the field. Hit the ball where it's pitched, and he ends up with a base hit.
So the Orioles have another base hit. They've had at least 1 hit in all 4 innings tonight. And here is Endy Chavez, who grounded out to second base his first at bat. Endy now 3 out of 15 on the homestand. And a foul straight back. Well, fans, we hope you can take the time to meet Orioles relief pitcher Darren O'Day. He'll be at the Orioles team store in York, Pennsylvania at the Galleria Mall tomorrow from 11 until noon. So don't miss your chance to meet Darren, get an autograph, and talk some baseball about the 2012 O's. That's tomorrow, 11 until noon at the official Orioles team store in York, Pennsylvania at the Galleria Mall. For details on all the Orioles community events, go to OriolesReach.com. Ooh, breaking ball, a called strike. Chavez thought it was breaking low, and you could see his displeasure.
Well, it didn't look like a really bad pitch to me. I mean, it was down in the strike zone, but we've seen a lot of umpiring lately starting to call the low pitch, especially in this series. I know umpires travel between leagues and everything, but it seems like when there's a National League team around, all the umpires want to call the real low pitch.
And the 0-2 is lined to short. Throw back towards first, and Pierce gets in safely, and the ball gets away from McGee anyway. So there's a line drive out and 2 men down. And Brian Roberts will be coming up for his 3rd at-bat of the night. And this is some special night for Brian Roberts. There's the magnetic lineup board outside Buck Showalter's office. Nice ovation as he came to the plate in the bottom of the first. Worked the count full to 3-2. Got a base hit. And diving back in the first, has fielded his only chance on the night. So having number 1 back out there, the Orioles just seem complete now as they have their leadoff hitter and one of the top leadoff hitters in the game.
This would be a perfect situation with the numbers really proving out as much as they do. I mean, the Pittsburgh Pirates have only thrown out four base runners all year. To get a guy in scoring position for Brian would be the perfect scenario for me. If they gets thrown out, Brian's still leading off the next inning.
Breaking balls in there for a strike. 0-1. You could see how Lincoln gets very deliberate when a man gets on first base for the Orioles, as he's trying to alter that cadence, if you will, so the Orioles don't get a good read on him.
Well, that's a real good point, because sometimes he'll hold the ball longer from pitch to pitch and not give that base runner a chance to time him going at the same pace every single pitch. You almost have to do it. They realize their catcher's not going to throw out very many guys. So you've got to vary your hold times when you come set every single pitch.
Ball and a strike on Roberts. And it's inside ball 2. And of all the things you wonder about a player who has been out as long as Brian has been out, and you're talking about 13 months ago when he played his last game, what about the batting eye? How does he look over pitches? How does he take pitches? And if you didn't know what he's been through just watching him here early on, you wouldn't know what he went through. I mean, he looks that good looking over the pitches.
Well, he's always been a very comfortable looking hitter. He doesn't swing off balance very often. You don't see him getting fooled too often. And he's pretty much on the ball. I mean, I've seen a lot of good 2-strike hitters in my time, but Brian Roberts is right up there with the best of them. He can take pitches in really tough situations, an inch, 2 inches off the corners, and he knows for a fact that they're balls, and he doesn't swing at them.
So Lincoln gets the count even at 2-2. Brian went 10 for 42 in his 14 games in the minors. He played for Bowie, he played for Delmarva, and he played for Norfolk. Long set to throw to first. You know, I think about the few days he spent with Delmarva when the Orioles were on the road, and Delmarva was the minor league affiliate that was home, and Brian drove over there and stayed a couple of days. What it must be like for all those young players on that team in low A ball to have a guy like Brian Roberts come through and be their teammate for a couple of days. Had to be fabulous. Pierce runs, line drive, base hit, right center field. Pierce will make the turn and head to third, and Brian Roberts is on with his 2nd base hit of the game.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, Brian Roberts, when he's swinging the bat good, there's just no pitch that you're going to be able to get him out with right here. You see he's going to come through with a breaking ball again. He just threw one a minute ago. Wilson Bedemit's had a tough time. Brian Roberts is right on it. Same pitch right here, and he just drives it right back up the middle. So it looks like he hasn't missed a beat. He's doing what he should do with a lot of those pitches, off-speed pitches. Tough. You got to keep your hands inside. You don't try to pull them. And that's what Brian Roberts did. He's got 2 hits already.
So Ray Searage, the pitching coach, out for his 2nd visit of the 9th, as again Lincoln is having 2 out problems. All 3 of the Orioles' runs have scored in this game with 2 men down. And last inning, the Orioles had 2 outs and nobody on and able to rally. Chris Resop is getting loose. He's having a good year. Pittsburgh with a 7-man bullpen. They have 5 right-handers and 2 left-handers.
Well, here we are. We talked about it at the start of the game. You know, he complained his last outing at 66 pitches. He was gassed. He looks to me like he's gassed right now.
And he's at 71 pitches.
Yeah, he's got 71 pitches. And the maximum that he's had as a starter so far this year is 80. So I'd be surprised, even with 2 outs, if he makes it through there another hit, he's probably going to be out of this game.
The runners on the corners for Hardy, who's 1 out of 2. And it's a little low, 1-0. Hardy snapped an 0 for 12 with his base hit in the 3rd, and that came with 2 outs and nobody on. It got the rally started. He scored the Orioles run in the 3rd against Lincoln. Oh, good cut. He fouled it straight back. 1-1.
Now we got a situation where you really don't know whether you want to have Brian Roberts try to steal a base here and then have them kind of pitch backwards to J.J. Hardy. He's one of your best home run hitters on the team. So maybe it might be better off now just to let him go ahead and swing away without knowing first base is open. Then he's going to get breaking balls and off-speed stuff that he probably won't have as good a chance to hit.
1-1 is popped up. Foul ground near the dugout. Barajas has it for the out. The inning ends. So the Orioles get a couple of singles in strand 2. We're through 4 at Camden Yards. Brian Roberts 2 out of 3, and the Orioles have the lead. Well, fans, on Saturday, June 23rd, the Orioles will take on the Nationals here at Oriole Park. 7:05 game, and the first 10,000 fans 15 and over receive a 20th anniversary Oriole Park at Camden Yards tumbler presented by Ocean City, Maryland. Don't miss this fun collector's item celebrating the ballpark that forever changed baseball. Get your tickets in advance and save 888-848-BIRD or get online at Orioles.com. We go to the 5th, and you can see the overcast breaking somewhat out there beyond the grandstand. There's Wei-Yin Chen at 63 pitches. There's the breakdown of his pitches on the night. 73% fastballs. He has 5 fly ball outs, 4 ground outs, and 3 strikeouts. And Barmes shows bunt and takes the ball.
You know, that's a time I saw him just now throw the curveball on the first pitch. In this situation, this is, I think, what gets him in trouble a little bit. You're down there to the number 9 hitter. There's the guy you want to throw that fastball right there to get right ahead of him because you don't want him on base in front of McCutchen. So why waste these pitches? You throw those pitches with 2 strikes in this situation, and you try to get him to swing at a bad pitch after you get ahead. That's the part of the lineup that you ought to handle fairly well, is the bottom half.
You know, Barmes, a veteran, he signed with the Pirates as a free agent. He's in his 10th major league season. Fouls it back 2-2. He was drafted by Colorado in 2000. He played his college ball at Indiana State, which is better known because that's where Larry Bird went to college. He was traded to the Astros in 2010 for Felipe Polino, who the Orioles saw with Kansas City, and then signed with the Pirates this past offseason as a free agent. So Chen at 3-2, the leadoff man here in the fifth. And a bouncer to third. Bettamy to his left gloves. Spins around and fires. Perfect throw. And one down here in the fifth inning. Time now for our Burger King game flow. And the flow of this game is 2-out runs. Mark Reynolds with a 2-out, 2-run home run in the second gave the Orioles a 2-1 lead. And then Adam Jones with a 2-out RBI single in the third added a run. Brian Roberts in his return to the Orioles is 2 out of 3 with a couple of singles. Chen has now retired 5 in a row. And here is Alex Presley, who takes strike one. Wei-Yin Chen, 26 years old, facing Alex Presley, who's also 26. Liner foul, a little late on the swing, and that skips back in the crowd.
He's just a good job here getting right ahead. Nobody on base, one down, getting ahead with the fastball. This is how this guy has to pitch most of the time. Now, if he wants to show him a curveball, you don't throw the curveball for a strike. You try to get him to swing at something in the dirt here.
Or you pink the outside corner and hit Wieder's glove, and it's a called strike 3, so 2 down as Chen picks up his 4th strikeout.
Look at this pitch. I love Matt Wieder's target here. It's down below the knees. This is something he needs to experiment with all of the starting pitchers. This is how you have to handle this guy. The top of the glove, bottom of the knees. Not the bottom of the glove at the top of the knees. A lot of guys get that glove in the middle and they try to hit that target, and boy, when it goes through the hitting zone, they become very crushable at that point.
First ball swinging is Neil Walker, and he fouls it off. Reynolds over, but he runs out of room. Walker struck out his first at bat. He's also, well, he's grounded out to short, but he was robbed of a base hit by J.J. Hardy. Oh, one is lined towards right center field. Adam Jones, a long run, still going, and it's over his head, and it's against the wall. Backing up nicely was Endy Chavez, so it's a double as the ballpark holds it. And Walker at second base with 2 down. Well, that ball kept on carrying. Jones thought he had a beat on it, and it got past him for an extra base hit.
Well, it really did. It looked like he was going to have a chance to catch this ball right up against the wall. And it just kept carrying and carrying and carrying. Pretty good extension on it, but caught a little bit too much of the plate. But right at the end, he realizes he's not going to get there in time. He's going to miss it by a few feet. So he just kind of threw his glove up there in hopes that somebody was going to back him up off the wall. And we had a guy there.
Well, here is Andrew McCutchen, and this is the spot you don't like to see him up there with a runner in scoring position. Runner at second. And 2 men down. And a ripped foul back to the screen. McCutchen came into the game tonight batting .380 with runners in scoring position, second best in the National League. That is a clutch batting average for McCutchen.
And more like about .460 or even more than that against left-handed pitchers, period. But you don't want to give him an opportunity to drive anybody in.
0-1, high fly ball to right. That ball has carried. Chavez back on it. On the warning track, he will make the catch. And Chen gets out of it, so a 2-out double and a man left. Mid-fifth here at Oriole Park. Orioles lead it 3-1. Game flow, well, it's been all about Wei-Yin Chen getting some support from his hitters, but after a run in the first inning, falling behind 1-0, nothing more for the Pirates. And hi, everybody. Welcome into our booth. Jim Hunter with Rick Dempsey as the Orioles try to make it 3 consecutive wins. And, Rick, this really is a big test for the Orioles in this series. Yeah, the Pirates are trying to build like the Orioles are, but they're tied for first place in the division playing good baseball.
You just don't want to take it down to the end of the ball game and give the Pirates a 1-run lead. They played a lot of 1-run games so far. You don't want to do that. You want to take advantage of every opportunity you have. A guy who isn't really a starter out there, and he's making some mistakes. Brian Roberts off to a great start, 2 hits. Adam Jones with a couple of big hits at the same time, and Reynolds with a 2-run home run. Let's take advantage of that and take it into our part of the ball game with our relief pitchers.
Yeah, and Wei-Yin Chen is doing a real good job. Men do get on base, but he's getting the big outs. And here's Brad Lincoln going to work as the Orioles come up in the bottom of the 5th. 74 pitches as he works here in the 5th. So 74 pitches to get through 4 innings. And here is Chris Davis, who takes a pitch inside, 1-0. It'll be Davis, Jones, and Wieters for the Orioles in the 5th. Davis 1 out of 2 with a single.
Chris Davis got a hold of a hanging slider the last time. He was lucky that ball didn't end up on the flag court. But he has been on a pretty good roll as of late, making pretty good contact, and Buck Showalter decided to move him up into a position where a little more power could help this ball club.
1-1 the count on him. And inside ball 2. Chris has had very patient at-bats tonight. His single extends his hitting streak to 5 straight. And he pulls it foul. That was a hanger. Recognized it, but he couldn't pull it fair.
Well, that's that one time where he sees that off-speed pitch, and that top hand just took over that swing right at the very end. And he comes over it and he pulls it foul. He fights it every single at bat to stay inside the ball and not let that top hand guide his swing. If he keeps that bottom hand on there, I just think this guy's capable of hitting 60 home runs a year. He's got that kind of power.
Here's the 2-2, and he fouled it off to stay alive. Lincoln is 3-1 on the year. 27-year-old now in his 3rd season. While the Orioles are entertaining the Pirates, the 2 first-place teams are involved. Yankees on the road in Atlanta. Tampa Bay is at home against the New York Mets. Here's the 2-2 pitch outside, and Tampa Bay has a 2-1 lead in the 5th. Each team scoring in the 1st inning. The Yankees are trailing in Atlanta 3-0. The Braves got 3 in the bottom of the 1st inning. Toronto is at home and trailing the Nationals 3-2. It was 3-0. Jays now on the board. And a foul sharply hit. The Nationals are really playing just outstanding baseball. They've won 4 in a row and 7 out of 10 and have a 3-game lead in the NL East. Only the Dodgers, with their 4.5 in the NL West, have a bigger division lead than the Nationals. And there's Juan Cruz in the bullpen. So new season high pitches for Lincoln. And Davis fouls off another. Sure, Clint Hurdle was hoping to get through this 5th inning with Lincoln. But an extended at bat here for Davis leading off.
This is a very critical inning for Lincoln, and it'd be good for the Orioles to make him throw a lot of pitches and try to tire him out. He might make one more mistake before they get an opportunity to go to Cruz, who's having a pretty good year. He's got 21 innings coming out of the bullpen with a 2.0 ERA at the same time. This is where they start to match up with the Orioles, when they start bringing their bullpen in.
Well, the pitching coach with the chart. And the manager working on the gum. This is going to be the 10th pitch in this at bat to Chris Davis. And he lines it to left center field. Long run for McCutchen, and it curls back to the left fielder, Presley. So McCutchen cut behind him as Presley called him off. And Davis retired and won away. Well, we hope you can tune in tomorrow to the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report, 5 until 6:30. You can join Amber Theo Harris, Mel Antonin, Phil Wood, and Dave Johnson. They'll join you with all the latest news on the Orioles and a look back at Bryant Roberts' first game in over a year with the Orioles. That's tomorrow at 5, the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report on MASN. And here is Mr. Jones, who's had a 2-for-2 night, 19th multi-hit game on the year. You know, baseball is it's a game of trends. The season is so long, 162 games. And players have ups and downs, and there's flat-out hot streaks and streaks where they can't buy a hit. But one of the things you look for is the consistency of a player and how that consistency is developing and increasing. And with Adam Jones, you're seeing that at the plate. You know, you look back to his career year last year, he had the career high 25 home runs. But he's got 17 already this year. He hit a 17th home run last year on July the 23rd in game 97. The Orioles are playing game 61 tonight, and he's already at 17.
Well, one of the things that sticks out for me.
Did we say 17? How about 18?
How about 18?
Jones is back, and that ball is out of here. Adam Jones, a 3-for-3 night, and there's number 18, and it's a 4-1 Oriole lead.
Now touch the left shoulder. Pat, there it is. Thank you very much. Jim, I'm sitting here thinking this is the most vulnerable part of the game for Lincoln, that he'll probably give up a long ball in this situation, and it was gone before I could get the thoughts out to you. Adam Jones has just become such a great patient hitter. This is what was different about him. Home run tracker, solo home runs, 51 on the season. Amazing. 2-run home runs for the Orioles, only 27. 3-run home runs, 5 grand slams, 1 on the season. Total 84 home runs now. Maybe the Orioles are not tied for third in home runs anymore tonight after that swing.
So a pitching change as Lincoln will leave as he goes 4 1/3 and is on the losing end of this 4-1 game. Here comes Juan Cruz. He'll inherit none on and 1 out in the 5th. Well, Adam Jones with his 18th home run. He hit it high, and it carries out on this night. So Adam has a 2 RBI night. He now has 39 RBIs on the year to lead the Orioles. And Adam, with his consistency, he now has 11 multi-RBI games on the year. So Lincoln goes 4 1/3, 4 runs on 9 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 3 in 87 pitches to get through 4 1/3.
Well, Juan Cruz is in to pitch for the Pirates right now. He's done a very good job for them already. No reason to doubt why he is in the game right now. 1.5 ERA and 13 games on the road so far. He has a 6-1 record dating back to the beginning of last year. He actually started the season with 11 scoreless innings, so he's one of their good ones. They know that when he's in the game, there's a pretty good chance they're going to end up winning. They're 20-5 with him in 25 games that he has been in.
One down. Here's Wieters. And Matt looks it over and takes it low, 1-0. Matt has grounded out, and he has walked. Oh, good-looking breaking ball bends in there. That started well off the plate and then broke back in. Cruz has been around, and he has found himself a home in Pittsburgh. Takes his time between pitches. Oh, good fastball. It blew by Wieters there. So he set him up with that slow breaking ball, and then he came back with old number 1 there. 92 looked like it was 98.
It was. He kind of dropped underneath it. It kind of came up in the strike zone. I think that's what fooled Matt Wieters more than anything else. It didn't dive down. He's got a lot of arms and a lot of legs coming at you, and the head's going towards first base. So you're seeing a lot of motion out there. You got to keep your eye on that release point.
1-2 is hit deep to left field. Back out of Presley. He has a play, and in front of the warning track, he makes the catch. So Matt gives it a ride, and it's hauled in by Presley. Well, our O's Extra postgame tune-in brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, Tom Davis and Rot Kabatko will come along. They'll break down the game, give you all the highlights. Of course, you'll hear Buck Showalter's press conference in its entirety, player interviews from the clubhouse, and more. That's the O's Extra postgame show presented by PNC. Here's Betemeet, and he takes high, 1-0. Betemeet has struck out in each at-bat. Cruz is in his 12th major league season, and there was a time as a young pitcher when he was coming up through the Cubs organization where he was a can't miss, you can't touch him prospect. That's how highly regarded he was by the Cubs, but never lived up to that potential. The 1-0, good pitch there, and Betemeet swings through it.
Oh, he really did. It threw a good two-seam fastball. You saw the bottom drop out of that. Good movement still, 92 miles an hour, 91, 90 right there with the two-seamer. Wilson Betemeet so far has had quite a few good pitches thrown at him tonight. He struck out looking last time on a nasty curveball out over the plate.
1-1 is down and away. The Orioles saw a lot of Cruz last year because he pitched for Joe Madden in Tampa Bay and had a real good year. He was 5-0 out of the Rays bullpen last year in 56 appearances. But he has pitched with the Cubs, the Athletics, Arizona, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, and now Pittsburgh in the big leagues. The 2-1 to Betemeet right there for a strike, and it's 2-2. Slayton is up in the bullpen. Doug Slayton, one of the 2 left-handers in the Pirates bullpen. Betemeet now 1 for 10 on the homestand with his 0 for 2 tonight. And it's outside, ball 3. Betemeet took a peek back at Jim Reynolds, because Reynolds has that style when he's going to ring you up. He pauses for a second, and then he brings up the arm, and Benamit looked back like, was that a ball?
I'm sure he felt like he was going to get hammered again on that pitch, because it was real close. It went around the outside corner, maybe a hair high at the same time, but he didn't know for sure after he took it.
So a full count with 2 down. And this time it's high, ball 4. Well, the bullpens on these teams have really been a major reason why they're both contending. You see the Pirates 2.39. That is the second best ERA in the majors, because the Orioles have the best in the majors at 2.37. 22 saves, tied for second. The opponent batting average very low. San Francisco has 23 saves as a team, so the only team with more saves than either the Pirates or the Orioles. Here's Mark Reynolds as the Orioles again have 2 outs and a man on.
It would be really nice to get Mark Reynolds back on track on a consistent basis. So you really like to have a bunch of guys in the bottom of the order swinging the bat like he's capable of doing. Make contact, you know it's gone. Here's a guy that's capable of hitting 30-plus home runs on a season. You kind of just forget about the batting average and just let him go ahead and swing away, but he's had a tough time really getting started this year.
Well, he snapped out of an 0 for 12 with that home run in the second inning. And, of course, trying to find that timing and the consistency. This is only his 13th game since coming off the DL. There's Mr. Consistency right there, Adam Jones. 18 home runs on the year now for Adam. (2-0) is there for a strike. Hit the outside corner, 2-1.
You know, one thing, we talk about it all the time, and it just kind of doesn't fit the personality of a strikeout guy, but Mark Reynolds is a little bit different. One thing he's very good at is getting walks. He's got a very good eye up there. It just kind of amazes me that he can swing and miss as much as he does, but he walks with a high ratio.
Yeah, he knows how to take a pitch. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he has a very astute batting eye. Now, when he hit his home run, he was ahead in the count, and Cruz falls behind him 3-1. Benamit draws a throw and is surprised that they throw over his scamper's back.
You know, with as many hitters as I've watched over the years, you know, catching for the time that I did, I look at Mark Reynolds and I say to myself, here's a guy that just never wants to give in with 2 strikes. And that's why you strike out as much as he does. He either hits the home run once in a blue moon, or he strikes out a lot. And it's just, most good hitters will realize when they've got 2 strikes, they've got to cut down on their swing. They've got to go with the pitch a little bit more. This is something he doesn't really like to do.
And that's a strike on a breaking ball, late breaking ball. And the count goes full 3-2.
And I'm not so sure about it either. That ball looked to me like it was inside and may have gone around the plate again. That was the pitch that Wilson Benamit took and didn't get called strike 3.
So Benamit will be off with the pitch. Full count with 2 down. Reynolds will try to extend the inning. And the 3-2 is swung on and missed. He got him with a high fastball, so Reynolds down on strikes, and that ends the inning. But Adam Jones, with his 18th home run, has added to the lead. The Orioles lead it 4-1.
Highlights for the game so far. Mark Reynolds gets a hold of his 4th home run of the season, puts the Orioles up 2 runs. Later on in the game, J.J. Hardy, by the skin of his teeth. Great defensive play, keeps it intact. Jones, you just saw it. Adam Jones with his 18th home run of the season. Another add-on run for the Orioles, who are up 4-1 right now.
So the Orioles with 9 base hits. Wei-Yin Chen has held the Pirates to just 4. And the Pirates got 2 of those hits in the first inning. So they have had 2 hits since. Wei-Yin Chen at 76 pitches, 75% fastballs, and 25% divided between his breaking ball and his off-speed changeup. Here's Casey McGee, takes a strike. Boy, he is pounding the strike zone in first pitches of at-bats tonight. And that is a good way to work. Immediately the hitter is behind in the count on those first pitch strikes. 15 out of 22 he has done that to.
I love it. He knows this team has never seen him. He's never faced the Pittsburgh Pirates before. He's got good command with the fastball tonight. Get ahead of these hitters at the bottom parts of the lineup. They're not hitting anything. You got to force them to make good swings, which they're not able to do right now. You cannot get behind in the count.
Well, Chen, the win last Wednesday at Boston, he is the last Orioles starter to come up with a victory. 2-1 to McGee, high fly to right. Ball carries on Chavez. He's back at the wall and looking up, and that ball is gone. An opposite field home run for Casey McGee, and it's a 4-2 game. So they fell behind in the count. He left one out over the plate, and McGee with his strength hits it out the other way. Just his 2nd home run on the year.
Well, that's what he started off the at-bat really good with a fastball down and away, and then 2 off-speed pitches got him behind in the count. What do you think the hitter's going to be looking for here? That fastball, and he leaves it up middle away. Pretty good hitting on the part of McGee just to take it that way, and he makes good contact, and he drives it out of the ballpark. Not a tough part of the park to hit this ball out of.
And here is Matt Haig, who fouls it off. And Casey McGee, real good job of hitting there. The pitch was away, went with it. And it carries out onto the flag court for a home run. Haig is DHing tonight. Broken bat bouncer towards shortstop. Hardy waits on it. And he will get Haig at first for the out. And 1 away. This day in baseball history is brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland. Make memories of your own this summer. Book your vacation at OCOcean.com. Well, in 2002, the Padres' Brian Lawrence became the 36th pitcher in Major League Baseball history to strike out the side on 9 pitches. That was in an interleague game against the Orioles. He struck out Brooke Fordyce, Jerry Hairston Jr., and Melvin Mora consecutively in that inning. 3 up, 3 down on 9 pitches, all on strikeouts. Rare feat. There's a strike in the outside corner to Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez has struck out twice. Chen has 4 strikeouts, and all 4 of the strikeouts have been called strike threes. Pops up the breaking ball down the left field line. Pierce is charging in. Betemeet gets out there, and Betemeet misjudges it and bounces foul. Well, that's a play that could have been made, and instead the hitter has life.
We saw that play last week with J.J. Hardy kind of short-armed 1-2 with the left fielder coming in at him, and you see Wilson Betemeet, who just, that ball cannot be missed. You got to go to that ball. I mean, we learned how to do these things in Little League with the pop-ups. I mean, you just got to keep going on that ball. And he gave up on it too soon. So that's how innings get blown out of proportion. You saw what happened. The batter after J.J. Hardy missed that ball. The left fielder Chavez came in and couldn't get it. And the guy hits a home run, and they're off and running, scoring 4 runs in that inning.
0-2 pitch bounces. And 1-2. Pedro Alvarez, 25 years old. Played in college at Vanderbilt. Last year, he was the first left-handed hitting third baseman to start on opening day for the Pirates since Richie Hebner. And there's a ball hit towards the middle. There's Hardy. And he gets it the first for the out. So J.J. shading up the middle. That ball was hit hard, and J.J. with a nice play and 2 men down.
Well, what a great job on J.J. Hardy's part, just learning to play these guys and positioning. Well, that ball should have been a base hit, and J.J. Hardy just played that perfectly off the bat. Move to his left. To that. Alvarez is a tough hitter. You look at his numbers, 34 hits on the season, but he has 8 home runs and 24 RBI, so he's done a lot of damage in the amount of hits that he's had so far this season.
Jose Tabata is 1 for 2. Slow roller foul. Tabata signed with the Yankees out of Venezuela on his 16th birthday, August the 12th, 2004, and then was traded to the Pirates when he was in Double-A. Fastball backs him off the plate, 1-1. One of those players that the Yankees had come through their system beginning to develop to use for proven major league talent. And a line drive down the line. That's going to fall for a base hit. Chavez over quickly to try to hold it to a single, and he will. And throws behind the runner. And on at first with a 2-out single is Tabata. So good play by Endy Chavez, hustling to hold that to a single. Well, it's worth repeating. Matt Wieters talking about Wei-Yin Chen. Whatever the situation is, he's not going to get too overwhelmed with it. He's a guy who every time he goes out there is the model of consistency. He'll go out there and nothing is going to get him too excited. So Matt Wieters on Chen's last start, which was a brilliant start at Fenway Park. Tough place to pitch. And he picked up the win against the Red Sox. He went 7 innings, 1 run on 7 hits in that game. Here's Rod Barajas, the catcher, the number 8 hitter.
Well, I'd be real concerned right now because I just don't like the fact that all of a sudden Wei-Yin Chen is up in the strike zone with his fastball. That sends out little red flares for me at this point in the game. Now, you need to say something to him about getting the ball down. That pitch right there was up. The pitch for the home run with McGahee, that was up in the strike zone. So you're just kind of hoping that this little bit of a heat wave we're going through right now doesn't have an effect on him right now.
Another throw to first. Tabata back. He does have a steal in this game, his 7th on the year. Two outs in the inning. Barajas at the plate is 0 for 2. And at the plate representing the tying run. Fastball, he doesn't give in. And takes it for a ball. Barajas now 36 years old. He's in his 14th big league season out of Santa Fe Springs in California. He is with his 7th major league organization. And still does a good job behind the plate at age 36. Chen is very concerned with Tabata. The run at the plate is the tying run. And there are 2 outs in the inning. One and 0 is the count. Good off-speed pitch.
Boy, that was a real nice one. He stayed behind that ball. Real nice. Good fastball motion. Coming out, chokes the ball a little bit back in the palm of his hand. Good changeup, a little bit of movement.
So 1-1 on the swing and a miss. And a bouncer foul. McLeod, the third base coach, will flip it into the stands. So 1-2 the count on Barajas.
No, it's off. I turned it off a long.
Big pitch coming up here for Wei-Yin Chen. just inside, 2-2. Barajas is right on the plate, so it shows you the confidence Chen has in his ability. He does not mind going inside. And he just missed with that pitch. And the 2-2, a slow roller toward shortstop. Hardy is there. He'll flip to Roberts for the force at second. And the inning is over. Pirates get a run on the home run by McGee. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth. It's a 4-2 game. Further damage, so the leadoff home run, as after that two-out base hit, he got Barajas on that slow roller. So he is through 6 innings, and here is Chris Rhysop on for the Pirates.
Well, Rhysop is coming out of the bullpen, another guy that's done a very good job for the Red Sox. 29 innings for the Pirates and a 3.3 ERA. So here you have another guy that gives them a lot of innings, keeps the ball down in the strike zone, only 11 earned runs. He's done a pretty good job for them, too, and he goes to them quite often.
So Rhysop will come on here in the 6th. Cruz went 2/3 of an inning, did allow a walk, but no runs. The starter Lincoln responsible for the 4 runs the Orioles have on the board. So here comes Rhysop. The way things are going here tonight, there's a big chance that there will be a 3-way tie for first place in the AL East. There's a long way to go, but the Yankees are trailing in Atlanta 4-0 in the 7th. The Mets scored 2 in the 5th to take a 3-2 lead on Tampa Bay. The Rays are now batting in the bottom of the 6th, and the Orioles are leading here. And here's Steve Pearce leading off. And there's a strike in the outside corner. Pearce singled his last at bat. Now facing the right-hander Rhysop.
A lot of things I like about this guy's swing. He holds his hands high in the strike zone, but he's coming down and through the ball all the time. So a lot of good mechanical parts of this swing. He gets a chance to play on a regular basis. I can see him being a pretty productive player, and especially as good as he's been on defense at the same time.
Well, he came up through the Pirates organization. They certainly know a lot about him. 0-2 the count on him. And he fouls it off. Pearce was an 8th-round draft pick of the Pirates in 2005 out of the University of South Carolina, and he made his major league debut just 2 years later in September 2007. He's played 189 games in the major leagues, and 185 of those were with Pittsburgh. Rysop deals 0-2, and a bouncer towards shortstop. There's Barmas, a big hop, throws quickly low, and safe at first base is the call as McGee could not hold a foot on the bag. Vic Carapazza really working hard there, the umpire, to get a better look, and he saw the foot come off.
Well, you see this play right here. The shortstop makes a pretty good play, fairly easy, too. He's got to make it just an easy, good throw, but he throws it wide of the bag at first. You see a pretty good distance between that back foot and the bag. So a horrible throw to first base. Good job by the first baseman just to knock it down and catch it. Now you're in a situation now where Chavez can move him over to second base with a good bunt right here.
That was outstanding work there by Vic Carapazza, not anticipating the play and getting in position to see that the foot was off the bag. Now here's Chavez. And he does square to bunt, and he bunts it first base side. It's a beauty. The race is on. Rysop picks it up, and he throws it down the line. That ball rolls all the way down the right field line. Pierce will be held at third, and it looks like Endy Chavez is limping into second base.
I couldn't see exactly whether or not that throw hit him in the back of the knee. It appeared as he is. I did not see a pull muscle kind of reaction. But I guess he could have. He hit the bag awfully tough. He could have strained. Yeah, he did. He strained that hamstring muscle behind the knee on the right leg. He was straining a lot to get to the bag.
Yeah, that lunge, it looked like, Rick, the way his foot hit the bag.
You're right. Watch this right here. The ball doesn't hit him. Right there, he stretched out as far as he could. That's where it cramped up on him. And with the heat, the humidity tonight, this happens a lot to a lot of players at this time. When you go from that cool air that we had a couple of days ago to the hot, humid here in Baltimore, it is so tough to stay healthy.
So Richie Bancel's checking on Chavez, Buck Showalter as well. And Chavez will leave. I would guess we'll get Ryan Flaherty here to take over. And here comes Ryan Flaherty. Had to go back and get his batting helmet, so Ryan will pinch run, and he'll stay in the game in right field. And all of a sudden, the Orioles are running low on outfielders. So Ryan Flaherty in the game now. And the Orioles have second and third and nobody out. Chavez is given credit for a bunt single. And the runners advance on the throwing error by Rysop. And here is Brian Roberts in his first game back. And a strike, generous call.
Well, this is where I really like to see Brian Roberts play the most. I've always thought he was an excellent leadoff hitter, two-strike hitter, but even more so, I thought he was an excellent fundamental hitter with men in scoring position. I would love to see Buck Showalter use him in a spot where he can drive in more runs, but what the team needs right now is a good leadoff hitter at the same time.
0-1 the count. Rysop deals, fouled off the other way, and it's 0-2. So the Orioles have a chance to get that run right back that the Pirates got in the top of the sixth. Pierce reached on an error. Chavez the bunt single, and the runners move up on the throwing error. So Pierce at third, Flaherty the pinch runner at second, and nobody down. No balls and two strikes on Brian Roberts. And a bouncer foul behind Wayne Kirby.
You know, one thing I really like about Brian Roberts' swing is there's so many hitters that I've seen. The swing changes from fastball to curveball. He's one guy. He's always short. He's very quick to the ball, which is what really makes him a good two-strike hitter. The swing does not change if the pitch changes.
Brian is 2 out of 3 in his return to the big leagues. Chance here for a couple of RBIs. Nothing into the count. High fly ball to right. Should be deep enough for a run. Tabata is over. Makes the catch. Here comes Pierce. Flaherty going towards third. And it's a sac fly and an RBI for Brian Roberts. And the Orioles now lead it 5-2. What a return to the bigs for Bryant. On an 0-2 pitch, he was able to put it in play and get that run in.
Well, that's nice to have him in a position where he can help the ball club. There, he's not going to swing at too many bad pitches under those circumstances and get himself out. He's going to make them work a little bit. Pretty good job right there. Get the fly ball out. He knew to lift that pitch. It was up in the strike zone. Good pitch. You can see, you can make contact with. He did a great job with it.
His first RBI since April 29th of last year. And Flaherty tagged and went to third, so he's there with one down for Hardy. And that pitch is high, 1-0. Infield drawn in for Pittsburgh. And there's a strike. Roberts' last RBI prior to that one at Chicago, April 29th of last year, and he had a 3 RBI game. Adam Jones enjoying it. Swing and a miss, 1-2 on Hardy. Rysop, 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
So the one thing you look for here is you don't want to hit a ground ball. You want to drive the ball, but you're also looking for a pitch that's up in the strike zone a little bit. Make contact and at least get the sacrifice fly, get the run in.
1-2. Ground ball, base hit right field for Hardy. Just slapped it the other way. Here's Flaherty to score, and it's a 6-2 lead for the Birds. Oh, what back control for J.J. Hardy, who rarely goes to right field for base hits.
Well, you've seen it ever since the ball club played the first series against the Boston Red Sox. J.J. Hardy, they pitched him outside. 3 hits the opposite way. Of course, he led the series off with a couple of home runs. But this is what he's continued to do game after game, is take that outside pitch the opposite way. Finds a hole to the right side, drives in another run. The Orioles are back up 4 again.
So that'll bring up Chris Davis. High fly ball, right center field. Back out it is Tabata at the wall, and that ball is gone. Davis with a 2-run shot. It's 8-2 Orioles.
Well, that's the kind of power he has. Didn't even get all of that ball. I guarantee you that was just a pop-up for him. But he is so strong. And he got underneath that ball and lifted it 9 miles high. And it just, I think the ballpark just kind of rotates out from underneath it before it comes down. It was a monster shot right there. 11th home run of the season, puts 2 more runs on the board. The Orioles now have a 6-run lead, 8-2.
So Chris Davis all smiles. His home run number 11. Now 28 RBIs and still only 1 down. So the Orioles getting the long ball tonight.
Watch this swing right here. He lives it middle away. This is, we saw it on the graph a couple of days ago. That's the zone that he really loves, and he kind of pulls that ball. Then hitting it up the middle in the opposite way, but he gets a little bit pull in that swing.
Swing and a miss. Adam fooled on that pitch, and that got a piece of Barajas.
What I'm so impressed with his swing is how easy he swings at the ball for a big man and that much power. You don't see him overswing. The top hand will run on him at time to time, but he really doesn't overswing that much. That's what makes him dangerous, is he'll stay inside the ball just enough to hurt you, just like he did.
Home plate umpire Jim Reynolds is delaying as much as he can. Let Barajas have a few extra seconds to collect himself. He walked out to the mound, visited with Rysop, then he walked all the way to the Orioles on deck circle to get a new supply of baseballs. There's Clint Hurdle looking on. He has watched the Orioles get at least 1 base hit in every inning in this game.
Well, you kind of knew with these teams matching up against each other as well as they have, bullpen, starting, offense, the whole thing, that it was going to come down, Jim, to a defensive ball game. And that's how this inning started off, with Pierce getting the ground ball, the air by the shortstop, the bunt play that went down the right field line. That set the table for the Orioles. A couple of easy RBIs with a sacrifice fly and a ground ball the opposite way, and now a home run to put the nail in the coffin.
Meantime, Jones, who was badly fooled on the prior pitch, was right on that one. He fouled it straight back. So the count is 1-2. He had a good take. He tried to get him to chase again. He wouldn't do it. 2-2. Adam, by the way, is a triple shy of the cycle. Of course, the triple's the hardest of the hits to get for the cycle. He doubled his first at-bat, singled a drive and a run his next at-bat. He homered his last at-bat. Facing Resop here in the 6th inning. And then he fouls it off to stay alive.
But
you know, the Orioles 1 through 4 hitters in the lineup tonight. 9 out of 14. 5 runs scored, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs. And all 4 hitters have at least 1 ribby on the night.
Well, that's what those guys are supposed to do. We just get a lot of production every now and then out of the bottom half of that order. But this is what they're supposed to do. And it doesn't surprise me. Brian Roberts leading off, 2 hits on the night. He's the guy that's supposed to set the table, and he's done a very good job of it tonight.
And a line drive right at the second baseman Walker, who was shading up that way. And 2 men down. Time now for our PNC minor league report, brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. Well, Nicky Delmonico will sit on a 5-game hitting streak because Delmarva was rained out tonight in New Jersey at Lakewood. But over the past 5 games, batting at .350, 7 hits, a couple of doubles, a home run, and 8 RBIs. For the season, he's having a real good year. He is 10th in the South Atlantic League with 41 RBIs, and he has been named to the South Atlantic League All-Star team. He's 19 years old. He's the only representative on the Delmarva team going to the game, and the only player ever for Delmarva to make the All-Star team at a younger age was last year when Manny Machado went at 18 years old. So Nick Delmonico, who was drafted just last June, his first pro season, and he really is playing well for Delmarva.
Well, we hear so many good things about him, too, that he's going to be a pretty good infielder at the same time. But a lot of good offensive pluses for him.
He was drafted as a third baseman, but now he's playing second base every day. They want to see if they can develop him defensively at that position because of the way he can hit. And Jason Esposito, who was also drafted last June, he's playing third base for Delmarva. 1-1 on Wieters, batting with 2 outs and nobody on. Matt 0 for 2 with a walk. Strike in the outside corner.
Well, we keep track of it all the time. Jim, we talk about it in our pregame and postgame show at how many good young position players are starting to come out of this Oriole organization again. You go back and think about the Don Baylor days and the Bobby Gritches and how many great players came out of the Oriole organization. Oh. It's coming back.
Resop in defense, he's able to glove it and then runs halfway to first for the underhand toss, and the inning is finally over. But what an inning for the Orioles. They score 4. The final 2 on the towering home run by Chris Davis. 8-2 Birds. Join us tomorrow for more O's action. Middle game of the 3. Brian Mattis is scheduled to take the mound against Kevin Correa. Our coverage on MASN HD begins at 6:30 with O's Extra presented by Jeep. And then game coverage at 7 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN. And we say Brian Mattis is scheduled to pitch because today, practicing bunting for the interleague games on the road, Brian took a foul off the bat into his nose, and he has a contusion in his nasal area. Right on the nose, he took the pitch, so Brian is hoping to make the start tomorrow. We'll learn more on O's Extra postgame tonight when Buck Showalter has his postgame comments. Brian is sitting on the bench, so the Orioles are hoping that he'll be able to make that start tomorrow.
Well, I can't see where the nose actually comes as part of the windup. Jim Palmer might find something about that. You have to have your nose in a certain spot.
There's Brian. Looks a little.
He looks good. Look at him.
And that's encouraging to see that he's sitting out there. So hopefully he'll be able to take that baseball and get on the mound tomorrow. Yeah, that looks a little swollen. That's
as long as you can breathe, get out there on the mound.
Meantime, Wei-Yin Chen stays on. He's facing Barmes here, the number 9 batter. And then Presley and Walker to follow. Hard hit ball, base hit left field. So the leadoff man gets on here in the 7th inning.
So that's that part of the game now where you have to start challenging these guys down in the bottom half of this order. You want to make sure that you don't walk your way back out of this ball game again.
So Luis Ayala now getting loose, and there's Ryan Flaherty now in right field. He took over for Andy Chavez, who left with a leg injury. We'll get the official report on that from the trainer's room. Here's Alex Presley, the leadoff man, who's 0 for 3. Line drive, base at right center field. Jones trying to cut it off. He'll get to it. Presley's thinking 2. Here comes the throw from Adam. It's off the bag, and sliding in with a double is Alex Presley. So 2 sharp hit balls, a single and a double, and 2 on with none out for Pittsburgh.
Pretty good running on part of Alex Presley. He gets his fastball out over the outside half of the plate. Pulls it a little bit right center field. Adam Jones over to it very quickly. I'm very surprised that he just rounded first base. Presley did, and he made it to second base very easily. That's tremendous speed.
So second and third for Neil Walker, who doubled his last at bat. Switch hitter up there from the right side. And it's a little bit low, 1-0. Chen is now over 100 pitches.
This is that part of the ballgame where you have to keep a real close eye on him. A little bit warmer tonight than he's been used to, but 107 pitches is the most he's had on the season so far.
Changeup fouled off.
And you don't want to give Pittsburgh an opportunity to get back in this ball game easily.
Well, 1-1 the count. A pitch right there for a strike. Fastball at the knees on the outside corner.
The guy I'm thinking about the most is Andrew McCutchen coming up right behind Walker. You have to make this guy hit the ball on the ground.
Ball and 2 strikes on Walker. And nice block by Wieters on a pitch in the dirt. Chen has had just 1 3-up, 3-down inning. That was in the 4th. Pirates have had hits in 5 of their 7 at-bats, and in the 3rd they got a 2-out walk. 2-2 is hit towards the middle. A run will score. Hardy's there. And he gets the first for the out. So it's an RBI ground out. It's an 8-3 game and one away here in the 7th inning.
Well, that was a really good job at getting the ground ball. You got to put the ball on the ground. Another double. He's out of the ball game. Any more than that, you're setting up the inning for the Pittsburgh Pirates to put a big crooked number up there. So he's done for the night.
So Buck Showalter out. He takes the baseball from Wei-Yin Chen, who will get a big ovation as he heads back to the Orioles bench. He stands to win his 6th on the year. Another outstanding outing for Wei-Yin Chen. Real strong outing for Wei-Yin Chen tonight as he goes 6 1/3. He had 4 strikeouts on the night. All 4 were called strike threes. And he goes 6 1/3 and is in line to win his 6th game on the year. So 6 1/3, 8 base hits, 3 earned runs, and the runner at third, his responsibility. He walked 2 and he struck out 4. And on a real muggy night, 103 pitches. So he gives way to Luis Ayala.
Well, the whip, as they affectionately call him on the mound, now picked up a 2nd win of the season in his last outing Saturday against the Phillies. He's not allowed an earned run in 21 of 25 appearances so far this season. So he's been one of the consistent ones. The guy's a control pitcher. He stays out of the middle as good as anybody I've seen, and the body likes the most is down and in with that little sinking 2-seamer.
McCutchen gets ahead 1-0. He is 1 out of 3. A swinging bunt base hit in the 1st inning, and then stole a base and scored a run. Outside ball 2. Ayala last worked on Saturday. He was the winning pitcher in the Adam Jones walk-off game. He came on and pitched an inning, and then the Orioles scored in the bottom half, so he picked up the win, his 2nd on the year. Good pitch there, 2-1. Waved at it.
He's got such good command of all of his pitches. I love to watch this guy when he comes in. I mean, you can get your hits off him if you guess right. But he's not going to leave too many balls in the middle of the plate for you. He's right there on the corners again with McCutchen, and you're just going to have to look in the right spot when you're facing a guy like him. That's the pitch right there that I really love to see him throw. He gets a lot of outs with that little sinking fastball down and in to most hitters.
Well, tonight's Masson Mobile word of the day is fastball. Text fastball to 29292 for your chance to enter to win a meet and greet with Adam Jones. Stay tuned to Orioles games all week long on Masson for more chances to enter and win. Now 2-2 on McCutchen. Presley at third with 1 down. Orioles have a 5-run lead here in the 7th. And a liner towards right field. Flaherty in on it, coming, diving, try, and he made the catch! He made the catch. The runner may have left too soon. Wieters is telling Ayala to throw to third. He throws to third, and safe is the call at third.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
I'm not so sure about that, James Joyce. I'm not so sure about that. I'd like to see a replay on that one right there. He was a long way down that line by the time they figured out that he had caught that ball.
Meantime, what a play by Flaherty to Rob McCutcheon. He's just in the game, and he has to make a diving grab.
We're going to see. He gets a pretty good jump on the ball. Good speed. He definitely catches that ball. But what a jump. There's the catch. I'm not so sure about that. Well, the only good part about it is I would definitely trade an out for a run in that situation, just as long as they don't have anybody else on base.
1-1 the count on McGee. Actually, in looking at that replay there, it looked to me like what Presley did was as soon as he lost sight of the ball, he took off. And that's when the ball was caught. So it was certainly bang, bang, and you could see that call going either way.
It was a little closer than I thought originally.
Line drive, base hit, left center field. So McGee is on with his second hit. He's got 2 walks, a home run, and now a single. He's had a good night. Ayala upset at that 2-out base hit. So the inherited runner scores, but the inherited runner was at third with 1 down. And there's Matt Haig, who is DHing tonight. Clint Hurdle taking advantage of the American League rules with the DH, as Haig gets the DH duties tonight. When he plays under National League rules, he would be at first base defensively. So 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
That's what I say about Luis Ayala. I mean, on occasion he'll leave a ball up. You don't see it happen too often. He went through a little tough stretch for him. It really wasn't all that bad. Gave up a few runs, and the ERA jumped up in a small stretch, a little over 4.
And he got him. Swing and a miss. There's strike 3, and the inning ends. So 2 runs in, but the Orioles at the 7th inning stretch have the lead. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink responsibly. As the fans enjoy their 7th inning stretch, and welcome into the broadcast booth, Jim Hunter and Rick Dempsey. And one of those games where the Orioles are getting a little bit of everything. They got the outstanding start by Wei-Yin Chen. They got the 3 home runs on the night, and good defense behind Chen tonight.
Well, they did. You see J.J. Hardy's made some outstanding plays, and defense has really been the factor so far. The Pittsburgh Pirates, a couple of big errors in that 6th inning that opened the door for the Orioles, who took advantage of it. J.J. Hardy, after a sacrifice sacrifice fly, pushing the base hit to right field, and then setting the table for Chris Davis to hit his 11th home run of the season. I love when those crooked numbers are on the board.
Yeah, and the Orioles did a real good job early in this game when they scored of getting those 2-out base hits. You get those 2-out base hits, it's a real plus for your team, and it hurts the other team.
And Brian Roberts, he's off to a good start. Everybody seems to be kicking pretty nicely. Maybe the Orioles will get back on a nice winning streak again.
Yeah, Brian Roberts in his return to the Orioles, 2 base hits. He has an RBI and a sac fly. And here is the left-hander Doug Slayton coming on for the Pirates as we go to the 7th inning. So Slayton becomes the 4th pitcher used by Pittsburgh in this game. He will go to work on Betemit, Reynolds, and Pierce.
Slayton is stranded to his 2 inherited runners Saturday night. He's made 5 scoreless outings since joining the Pirates. He had the career high 3.0 scoreless innings back on the 6th against Cincinnati. So he's given up an earned run in his first outing with Indy, which was back at their AAA club. Not charged with that earned run, but he's been fairly consistent, and he got another shot at pitching back here at the major league level.
So here's Robert Andino, who will pinch hit for Wilson Betemit against Doug Slayton. Andino, with Brian Roberts back, did not make the start tonight at second base, but he'll take over now at third as Brian is back with the team. It's his job if he's here, and he's back.
Well, this is what I thought would probably happen to him once Brian got back, is he get a little bit more playing time at third base, maybe a little bit better defensive player, a little bit more range than Betemit. But, certainly a guy that the Orioles had planned on using as a 4th infielder from the very beginning. He just showed the ball club last year at the end of the season that this guy could play on a little bit more of a regular basis, and he can also play left field if you have to use him.
So Andino has got a 3-game hitting streak going, gets ahead 2-0. And takes high, ball 3. Well, there are some that believe that Robert, who really played a nice second base for the Orioles, that his best defensive position may in fact be third base. He's got quick hands, he's got a good arm, he's athletic, and he draws a 4-pitch walk.
Well, there's so many things that he does well, and he's got a little pop too for a little guy. He could hit the ball a long way, straightaway center field, couple of home runs, one in Toronto, one in Boston that he hit over the Green Monster. Does a lot of things great. The only critique I can say with him is that he makes some, what you call crazy errors at times, errors that he shouldn't make. He makes great defensive plays, does so many things well. But then once in a while, you'll see him just a little lack of concentration every now and then.
Here's Mark Reynolds, 1 out of 3 with a 2-run homer. And Slayton deals low. So 5 in a row out of the strike zone for Slayton coming into the game. Mark Reynolds asking home plate umpire Jim Reynolds something. There's a strike taken. Slayton called up from AAA Indianapolis on May the 28th. He was pitching at the back end of the bullpen for Indianapolis, 2-0 with 8 saves. And that's outside 2-1. So Mark Reynolds with a patient at bat, with Flaherty in the game taking over for Chavez, who left with a hamstring strain. And Andino now pinch hitting for Betemit. Nick Johnson and Ronnie Paulino remain the players on the bench for the Orioles.
Well, I would really like to see the Orioles take an opportunity to steal a base here and find out what everybody's talking about with the Pirates not being able to throw anybody out. Andino would be the perfect guy. He gets pretty good jumps even against left-handers. So I'd like to see it. Be a perfect time to do it.
Robert has 3 steals on the year. 2-2 on Reynolds. High foul deep down the left side and into the night. You don't want to throw it up there.
No, you don't. And let this guy get inside of that pitch. He's surrounded. About one that time pulled it foul, but he stays inside of it. He'll have his second home run of the night.
And the count holding 2-2. Outside, ball 3.
Well, we've been through it for so many years, Jim. Together, we've watched a lot of guys come into the Orioles bullpen and get themselves in a lot of trouble by walking the first guy. It was on a consistent basis, night after night after night. We watched the bullpen come in and give guys free passes on the very first at bat and get in all sorts of trouble.
Andino runs. 3-2 is hit in the left field for a base hit. Robert thought about going to third, but he holds it second, so 2 on with nobody down. Well, voting for the 2012 All-Star Game is open at Orioles.com/All-Star. Vote orange and help support Matt Wieters, Adam Jones, and all the Birds. And in honor of the Oriole Park 20th anniversary season, vote at least 20 times and select the Orioles as your favorite club, and you'll be entered to win the Orioles All-Star Sweepstakes. Now, one lucky winner gets an autographed jersey for the 2012 Orioles All-Star. And remember, you can vote up to 25 times online. So get online, Orioles.com/All-Star. And the Orioles, of course, launched their Vote Orange campaign to help all your favorite Orioles get voted to the game in Kansas City. And the Orioles are asking their fans to vote the maximum 25 times per email address from their phone. I did it the other night. It's very easy. And fans who vote can visit Fan Assistance Center here at the ballpark and receive the I Voted Vote Orange campaign sticker, as well as a voucher for $5 off a future ticket purchase at the box office. So get behind your Orioles vote and send your Birds to the All-Star Game in Kansas City. And Barajas is out to the mound to talk to Doug Slayton. We're in a little bit of a jam here.
Not really a situation where you're going to have to worry about the bunt. I think the Orioles are going to swing away, and they have 4 runs, and 4 runs up going into the 8th inning is probably a fairly comfortable lead right now. So you're just kind of hoping your guys will swing away and maybe just have another big inning, but do it by swinging the bats.
Pierce is 1 for 3. And he looks over a pitch low, 2-0. Doug Slayton was originally drafted in 1998 in the 29th round by the Orioles. He did not sign. Then the next year in 99, he was drafted again by the Orioles in the 34th round and did not sign. Here's the 2-0. It's inside, ball 3.
It sounds like he doesn't like the Orioles.
Either that or he didn't like the bonus. He eventually signed with Arizona. As Pierce takes a strike on a 3-0 pitch. He was drafted in the 17th round in 2000. He went to Los Angeles Pierce College before signing with Arizona.
Hey, wait a minute. I went to Pierce College.
Did you really?
Well, I didn't go to college, but I did go to, Pierce College for a month. Didn't finish it. Went into the military. Huh?
Did you actually go to class?
Yeah, I went to class for a little while.
Really?
I made a semester in college.
Where'd you go?
Hey, I went to college.
All right.
A little bit.
I'm impressed. My
Pierce College. How about that?
Well, there you go. You got a college guy.
Yeah.
3-2 on Steve Pierce. Bouncer towards the hole. To second for 1. Out there. Back to first. And out there at first. Nicely turned by the Pirates.
Well, I thought they had no chance of turning that double play, but the second baseman, he turned that ball. Walker turned that ball quick. We'll take another look at it. A little top ground ball to the backside. On there, and he took a big jump off of second base and got it over to first base in a hurry.
So Andino ends up at third with 2 down, and Ryan Flaherty will get his first at bat. He pinch ran for Chavez last inning when Endy left with his strained right hamstring. Flaherty 1 out of 6 on the homestand. Breaking ball for a strike.
I think we're looking at a pretty good player right here in Ryan Flaherty. There's a lot of things I like about him. Quick bat, good speed, great hands on defense. He does a lot of good things well.
There was a bouncer to second base, waiting on it is Walker. Flaherty's out, and so are the Orioles. A walk, a hit, and 1 left. We're through 7 at Camden Yards. The Orioles enjoy an 8-4 lead. So far, Dennis has won a total of $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, play Strike It Rich scratch-offs and then enter your non-winning ticket codes at mdlottery.com/strikeItRich. Well, we go to the 8th inning. Robert Andino, who pinch hit for Wilson Betemit, will stay in the game defensively at third. And Ayala, who came on with 1 out in the 7th, stays on to work here in the 8th. At least to begin the 8th. 11 pitches, 45% fastballs, 45% breaking balls, 10% off speed to his 3 batters. Here's Pedro Alvarez. Here's a strike, 0-1.
You kind of know that Pedro Alvarez is the guy they'd like to be able to put behind McCutchen at some time. He can put up some pretty big numbers. 8 home runs on the season already. Not very many hits, though. I talked about it earlier. Only 34 hits on the season coming into this game. But he's able to put up some pretty good production with those 34 hits, 24 RBIs. Not a very good batting average for this time in the season for him, though. Like a lot of the Pittsburgh Pirates, right around 200.
Center field, Jones in on the ball. It was right off the end of the bat, and he has it for the out and 1 away. Well, it's time for you to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. How about Adam Jones? Jones has a 3-hit night, including a home run and 2 RBIs. Mark Reynolds, he has a 2-run home run and 2 hits on the night. Or Brian Roberts has returned to the big leagues. He's 2 for 3 with a sac fly and an RBI. Some deserving candidates tonight. Text in your vote and have your voice heard. A, B, or C to 31826. There's a Tabata, takes a strike. Tabata is 2 for 3 on the night. He singled off the glove of Chen in the second, and then singled to right field in the sixth. And ties him up. And gesturing at himself. Stay back. Stay back.
Said that a million times myself. Maybe half that many, but.
Swings through it, 1-2.
I was a definite front foot hitter for most of my career. Till Earl Weaver told me I had to start hitting home runs down the left field line. Try that when you hit off, when you stride and definitely hit off your front foot all the time.
1-2 on Tabata. And he got him. So Ayala said, yeah, stay back. Here's a fastball. Here's another one. See you later.
Well, I like the movement on this ball. That's why they call him the whip, because he got that little kind of an elbow that kind of comes 3/4. They look at the movement on the ball. It's diving right now. You really got to be able to stay on that ball in order to hit it solidly. That's why he's been so effective so far this year. That good two-seam fastball down and in, or middle in all the time.
And Rick, there's a veteran pitcher. He read the bat. The swing before, he saw that he couldn't catch up to it, so he threw the same pitch. Real good movement, and he got the swing and the miss.
It took a little while for me to figure that out too. You know, when a hitter goes up there and he can't catch up with the fastball, why throw him anything else? If you can't catch up with it, it's the one pitch that speed-wise, you know, some guys will try sliders. That just speeds up the bat, and then you have all sorts of trouble.
Foul ball makes the count 1-1. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Ryan Roberts back in the big leagues. #1 out there at second base. 1-1 to Barajas is popped up foul. That'll make its way back into the crowd. 15,618 the attendance tonight, and unfortunately I think the rain kept a lot of folks away, because for a while there it didn't look like there was any way this game was going to be played, but then the rain just stopped and moved on out of here, and we have not had even a threat of it all night.
Turned out to be a very comfortable evening. Nice and cool. Wasn't all that hot early on. Maybe a little bit humid.
A ball and 2 strikes on Barajas, who was 0 for 3. And another pop foul. The Pirates began the night tied with Cincinnati for first place in the NL Central, each with a record of 32 and 27. And Cincinnati has already played and won tonight. They're playing their in-state rivals, the Indians, and the Reds won that one 7-1. So if the Orioles hold on here, the Reds take over the Central by 1 game over the Pirates. 1-2, swing and a miss. He got him with an off-speed pitch. And Barajas well out in front. 3 up, 3 down go the Pirates. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. The strikeout ends it for the Pirates, 8-4 Birds. For every Orioles walk this season, CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield will contribute $50 to support the American Heart Association Heart Walk. And to date, the Orioles have drawn 175 walks for a total of $8,750. CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Buck Showalter looking over the lineup card. Looking ahead to the ninth inning for the Pirates. One that will be 9-1-2. Barnes, Presley, and Walker due up. Doug Slayton stays on for a second inning of work, and he'll get the top of the lineup for the Orioles. Brian Roberts, J.J. Hardy, and Chris Davis. So Brian will get a chance in his first game back in the big leagues in 13 months to bat from each side of the plate. His first 4 plate appearances were from the left side, and now he's up there from the right side against the left-handed offerings of Slayton. And it's outside, 1-0.
Brian, I know how hard he's been working out to get ready for this day. He looks a little thin to me tonight, you know, more so than he has in the past.
There's a chopper third base side. This is a tough play, but it bounces foul. Slayton thought about grabbing it. Somebody must have yelled. It might have been Alvarez saying let it go, because with that spin it bounced back foul out of play. Well, fans, don't forget you can follow the Orioles with the MLB.com app at 12. The app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Just text @BAT to 31826 or visit Orioles.com for all the details. Ball and a strike on Roberts. So Brian had base hits in his last 3 games last year. And when he went on the disabled list, he had a 3-game hitting streak. And tonight he picks it right up and goes 2 for 3 so far with an RBI and a sac fly.
And both those hits are, you know, right up the middle too. So looks like he's got his swing again.
Well, can you say 3 hits? Brian Roberts hits it in the left field. So he's got 2 hits from the left side, 1 hit from the right side, and a 3-hit night in his return. Boy, is this special.
Well, you see a pretty good swing right here. Left-hander, middle away. Brian is all over this pitch up there, just thigh high. So he's had quite a few good swings on the night. So it looks as if he's getting right back on track where he left off.
So a leadoff single in the 8th. Here's J.J. Hardy. And it floats in there for a strike. J.J. has 2 hits on the night, 1 for an RBI. 2 runs scored. And he takes inside 1-1.
Well, a lot of production out of the top of that order tonight. That's the 10th hit by the top 4 guys in the order so far tonight.
Pulls it down the left field line. That's back out of play. The only 2 starters on the night not to have at least 1 base hit. Matt Wieters is 0 for 3, but he did draw a walk. Bettamy was 0 for 2, but he drew a walk, and Andino then pinch hit for him, and he drew a walk. So every Oriole in this game has been on base. Orioles now have 14 base hits.
Well, the thing I like most about it, Jim, is the RBIs with 2 outs. And that's a sign of a good club. The team that usually leads the league in driving in runs with 2 outs is a team that wins their division. So if the Orioles are going to win this year, that's a statistic that's going to stick out by the end of the season.
Yeah, 3 of their 8 with 2 men down, and they were the first 3, which gave them the lead. 1-2 on Hardy. Bouncer towards the hole, fielded there by Barmes to second out there, back to first, and safe at first on the return. And there was Brian Roberts' first test on the bases as he slid into Walker on the pivot. So he gets up and jogs off the field.
Kind of nice. Brian's trying to stay out of the way to keep from getting hit in the head. Wouldn't be a good thing to happen to him right now. He's got that new helmet on with 2 ear flaps.
It looked like he put his hand up to make sure that knee didn't come near his helmet. If he did that, that's pretty alert thinking.
He did. He's looked a little wide-eyed tonight, you know, at times. Maybe he's still just getting used to a lot of people being around him, a lot of motion around his head at the same time.
Chris Davis now breaking balls low. Chris has had a real good night. 2 out of 4, his 17th multi-hit game. Single in the 3rd, a 2-run home run in the 6th. Good looking curve there by Slayton. It froze Davis. Showalter checking in with his second baseman. Inside. Well, good players rise to the occasion, and Brian rising to the occasion tonight. His first game since May 16th of last year. The wonder if he'd make it back. Then all the hard work he put in to get to the rehab, the 20 days in the minors in which he played 14 games. He batted .238, 1 home run, but that wasn't important. The fact was he played, and there was no interruptions in the rehab. And there's a call for a shot, and our Chase game flow is all about number 1. Back with the Orioles. A 3-hit night. He's 3 for 4, RBI with a sac fly. And he's back on the field.
And it's very tough to do what he's done. I was on the disabled list twice, and so anxious to get back into the lineup, but having to sit there and watch everybody have a good time, and the way the season has gone, everybody doing things that we haven't done in a long time, it just had to eat away at him because he's been such a big part of this organization since he became an Oriole.
And he did touch on that in his press conference before the game about how when, especially because he's been out so long, it's been 13 months, how he really didn't feel like he was part of the team. Here's the 3-2 to Davis. He swung on and fouled off his foot. It rolls all the way out to second base.
Well, pretty much the same as Nick Markakis, who was just chomping at the bit to get back out on the field. He's trying to find ways to increase the healing, or really to stop the healing time and get that wrist back. Look at him. He's working out with a bag of sunflower seeds already. Must be popping that wrist back and forth. You know he wants to be back out there on the field at the same time. And you get all these guys back at the same time with Brian Roberts solidifying that leadoff spot, and they're going to make a pretty good run.
Well, that's not a bad guy to join your team on June the 12th. One of the best leadoff hitters in the game. Another 3-2 pitch to Chris Davis. Popped him up. Breaking ball. Barajas calling. Here comes Alvarez. He says, get out. I got it. And he does. So Alvarez with a better angle coming right to that ball. So 2 down now. Kevin Gregg getting loose to work in the 9th. Orioles still going with 8 men in the bullpen because their starting staff right now is 4 starters with Jake Arrieta out there in the bullpen. Here's Adam Jones. Does he have a triple in that bat? He has doubled, he has singled, he has homered.
I know his last AB hit a line drive right at the second baseman. Had that one been a little bit higher, he had it.
That one squirts on through for a base hit. It bounced past Alvarez, it bounced past Barmes, and it ended up into the outfield for a base hit. For Adam Jones, it's his 4th hit of the night. 4 for 5 for Adam.
He sits on top of this one. After that second hop, it just kind of scoots past Barach. Right there. You see it just underneath his glove. And it hits it into left field for another base hit. That's his 4th hit of the game so far.
So Adam gets another one. It's his first 4-hit game this year. He had 3 hits at Toronto on April 13th, 3 hits against Oakland on April the 28th, 3 hits against Boston on May the 6th, and 3 hits against Washington on May 19th. For his first 4-hit game on the night. He also had 3 hits in Toronto on May 29th. So he's done that several times, but his first 4-hit game of the year. Here's Matt Wieters with 2 on and 2 out. Ground ball to short. Barnes is there. We'll go to second for the force on Jones, and that will end the inning. So 2 hits and 2 left. We're heading to the 9th. The Orioles are 3 outs away from a win, leading the Pirates 8-4. Orioles baseball on MASN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By 5-Hour Energy. 5-Hour Energy fixes tired fast. And by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to dodge.com and check out the powerful lineup. Muggy night here at Camden Yards, but it's been a good night for the Orioles. And here's Kevin Gregg to pitch the 9th inning.
Kevin Gregg has really come back from a long way, actually, early on in the season. He had a lot of trouble getting the ball over the plate, got hit hard when he did, but he's kind of regained himself back again. Good movement on his fastball. He's not taking up a little bit more of the plate, getting ahead of hitters. So he's back again now, and probably one of the most desirable people on the market right now for other teams that finding out what are the Orioles going to do with so many good pitchers.
Well, that's a good problem.
It's a great problem. I mean, you got to love this guy and his attitude. He was a closer here at one time. He did a pretty good job, and then kind of fell out of favor for a little while, and worked himself back into a good situation again. He's not easy to hit and very, very tough to pitch the way he does. He pushes the ball to home plate. It's tough for him to hit strikes, so he has to be pinpoint perfect, but he got himself back in good shape again.
Ryan Roberts out there in shallow center field, and he hauls it in for the out. So Barmes retired and 1 away. Here's an update on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game, and Ryan Roberts on his return, 74% running away. Still time to vote. Text in, have your voice heard, A, B, or C, to 31826. Tom and Rock will have the results coming up on those extra postgame. You bet he's smiling. Let's see, he's hit a ground ball. He's now caught a pop-up in shallow center field. He tried to break up a double play, which he was successful at, sliding into second, and he's got 3 hits.
Now, the only thing he hasn't done tonight is steal a base. But then again, you don't want him to try to push the envelope. Let's keep him in the game here for a little while and take advantage of some of this swing, this hits so far.
0-1 to Presley is a little low. Presley's 1 out of 4. He doubled and scored in the 7th. Wei-Yin Chen in line to get the win. It would be his 6th. And that one's just off the plate. 2-1 on Presley. Another real strong inning for Wei-Yin Chen. He did allow 4 runs, but 2 came in his final inning. Fastball just missed, ball 3. Ayala, another real good night, an inning and 2/3 scoreless, and now Kevin Gregg in the 9th inning. Ball 4, there's a 1-out walk.
Well, that's something we haven't seen much of. He's been pretty good at keeping the ball in the strike zone, not giving anybody free passes. His last 12 appearances, he's pitched to a 1.32 ERA, so he is right in the mix with everybody else. He has a different role now. Tough for him to accept, but he's done a great job in his role.
Jim Johnson now getting loose for the Orioles as Neil Walker swings and fouls it back. Walker, a switch hitter up there from the left side. He is 1 out of 4 as an RBI and a ground out. Just inside, 1-1. So Johnson getting loose just in case the Pirates creep back in. Look at there, looking at his charts. That ball's crushed to left center field. Back it goes, and it's out of here. There's a 2-run home run for Neil Walker, and it's an 8-6 game. And only 1 out in the inning.
Well, that's how quick it can change around. One good pitch right down the middle of the plate. You can see that right. Not a lot to it. Well, we haven't seen this much out of Kevin Gregg either, too. He's been pretty solid for those last 12 appearances.
And here's Buck Showalter out. Kevin last worked on Friday against the Phillies. He pitched a scoreless inning. It's now a save situation. Orioles are up by 2, and the tying run will be on deck. So, save situation. Gregg will leave, and Jim Johnson will come on with 1 out, nobody on in the 9th. Comes on, he's 18 out of 19. He needs to get 2 outs to get the Orioles the win.
Well, what can you say about Jim Johnson and all that he's done so far this year? He's been everything but perfect. One blown save shy of having a perfect season, and 25 consecutive saves at the same time. Jim Johnson has just been magnificent the entire season. Great movement on his fastball. Everybody's finally recognizing how good this guy really is.
Jim pitched in each of the games against the Phillies over the weekend. The Orioles won, a scoreless inning in each. And here's Andrew McCutcheon, who first ball swings and fouls it off. Goes after that Jim Johnson fastball. So Johnson looking for his 19th save. Bouncer, foul, and it's 0-2 on McCutcheon.
It's been a long time since I've seen a pitcher at the major league level who had the kind of movement that Jim Johnson has on his two-seam sinker. Oral Hershiser had one like that. They both were just about the same. Didn't quite throw as hard as Jim Johnson does coming out of the bullpen, but what tremendous movement on that one pitch.
Overthrows that one. It bounces past Wieters for ball one. Now Johnson is so tough because he has starter stuff and he has starters variety. And his fastball moves all over the place with good velocity. And he gets him on a high fastball, 2 down.
Now you get behind in the count to Jim Johnson. You're looking breaking ball, and you get this fastball moving in the zone. There is no way you're going to get on top of that fastball. Looking down for the ball in that situation, or maybe even thinking he might throw me that curveball now that he's up 2 strikes and 1 ball. So he becomes even tougher the more he gets ahead of hitters.
Well, more importantly, with Casey McGee, who's already homered in this game, it keeps the tying run on deck. Liner down the right side, that slices back foul. Yeah, the fans are really into it, looking for that final out to get the first game of this series.
But it's so nice to see the fans so into it now. That last series against the Philadelphia Phillies, they were here. The stadium was packed. It reminded me a lot of old Memorial Stadium when we were in our good runs. The Orioles they've got it back now.
Ground ball at third. There's Andino. He gets it across, and the Orioles have won the opener. As Jim Johnson comes on to earn the save, getting the 2 batters that he faced, and the Orioles win it by the final of 8-6. They get the opener of the 3-game series against the Pirates.